pack. Here's how it works. You walk into Walmart, go to the electronics section, ask for iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system, and select the new Silver Unlimited plan. They'll smile because it's a good plan. You get real unlimited data all for just $20 a month for the whole first year. Get it at Walmart or StraightTalk.com. Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Taxes and fees apply. Requires activation of iPhone 12 and a new Silver Unlimited plan or higher end auto pay enrollment. $25 a month service credit applied for up to 12 months if eligibility requirements are met. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com.
The Arizona primary election is coming up on July 30th, 2024. Are you voting by mail? Here are some reminders. Mail your ballot back 7 to 10 days before Election Day. Otherwise, return your early ballot to any secure election drop box or voting location by 7 p.m. on Election Day. Sign up today to receive email or text updates on your ballot status. Learn more at arizona.vote. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Secretary of State's office.
As we plan for our retirement, there are 4 questions we need to ask ourselves or our retirement planning advisor. How much? How long? How safe? And what cost? Let's start with how much. That is, how much income we think we'll need each and every year for the rest of our lives, including all the activities we want to enjoy during our retirement, like travel, recreation, and entertainment. Plus the cost of housing, including repair and maintenance, taxes, insurance, and utilities, as well as the cost of healthcare, including expenses not covered by Medicare.
Enjoy safe, secure lifetime income of 5 to 9% for life, depending on age and deferral period, with no fee deductions and no annuitizing. Guarantees rely on the financial strength of the insurer, so let's compare free in Scottsdale. For more, visit iqannuity.com, iqannuity.com, iqannuity.com.
Will Shakespeare here. Back in my day, I invented over 1,700 slang words like swagger, bedazzled, and my personal favorite, besmirch. But even I have trouble understanding slang words like yeet or bougie or
this is fire.
Actually, it is extremely smooth Shakespeare vodka.
Okay, boomer.
See what I mean? But there is one word that describes the pure quadruple distilled spirit crafted from an 8th century Polish recipe the first time you try it.
So lit.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Shakespeare vodka. So lit.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM. Wherever you go, take us along. Listen to our live stream on our free Fanatic app. Download it today.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, welcome everybody to the Wednesday edition of the Daily Blender here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic as we broadcast live from the Harvard Solo Studios, beautiful uptown Scottsdale. Right over there, the sexiest man at Sports Talk Radio, that's Keon Rose. Jeffrey O'Brien on holiday. My name is Randy White, and you are the fourth dimension, texting in at 888-368-1580. TGIW, what? Big George already on the text line at 888-368-1580. Must apologize to Big George. I slipped my mind yesterday. I'm not the regular host of the show. Usually that's Jeffrey O'Brien, and it slipped my mind. I had on this date in Big George's sports history from yesterday, and I forgot to do it.
Yesterday? You did the Bobby Bonilla Day. Was that not yesterday?
Or was that? That's July 1st.
Oh,
I didn't do yesterday.
That's wow.
Yesterday was about some cat that I don't remember. It was some old baseball story or something.
Oh,
so I apologize, Big George, profusely for not doing on this date of Big George's sports history.
If you stick the landing at the end of the week, though,
yeah, well,
that's what counts.
And that's where we are right here. Big George saying TGIW. Thank goodness it's Wednesday, since today is acting like a Friday for the Daily Blender. Damn it, Paul Sewald! You had one job yesterday. One job, and you blew it. Well, yes. The Diamond. Let's just jump right into the show. We have a lot to talk about. We got Diamondback news. We got baseball news. We got some football stuff. We've got, oh my gosh, we got some NBA stuff, some Lakers stuff coming up. Oh, yeah. I want to have a discussion with you later on, Keon, about quarterback stats. Are you taking over and under? And I'll explain that when we get to it. But
Okay.
I have a whole list of stats a little later about quarterback stats over under, and we'll get your thought on it. Maybe hopefully the fourth dimension will come along. Also, I found a little tidbit that it's too bad Jeffrey's not listening today. I found a little tidbit that would make him happy on this Wednesday, the day before the 4th of July. And it could involve somebody bringing the Coyotes back to Arizona.
Oh,
what?
That's fast.
What?
That news is pretty quick. I was expecting to hear that news maybe in a couple of years from now.
We'll be talking about that, so don't go anywhere, gang. Going to have a lot of fun today. But yeah, it was bad yesterday. The Diamondbacks had the Dodgers exactly where they wanted them there at Chavez Ravine. They had the lead. And Sewald came in. He's not normally automatic, but he came in and he gave up 3 hits and 2 earned runs. We were a strike, I tell you, away from winning this game. We had 2 outs, 2 strikes, and then the wheels came off. The damn wheels came off. So I don't like the way that we're going about this, but I guess it's all that Torey Lovullo has. Joe Mantiply started the game. He gave up a hit and an earned run early in the first inning. It was 1-0 for a long time until the Diamondbacks struck in the 4th with a Christian Walker long bomb. And then there was some base hitting that went on, and then the Dodgers they scored 2 more. The Diamondbacks scored; they put up 1 more in the 7th. It was 4-3 at the end of the 7th after the Dodgers scored 2. Then the Diamondbacks fought back again, scored another 2 runs in the 8th and the 9th. But doggone it, Paul Sewald gave up the game, blew the save. It's just I don't know. Torey started Joe Mantiply, then Ryan Nelson took over for 5. He only gave up 1 earned run, which is pretty good. He spread out 6 hits over 5 innings, had 3 strikeouts and only 1 walk. Then Justin Martinez came into the game for 1 in the 3rd. He gave up a hit and 2 earned runs. And then Kevin Ginkel came in the game. He gave up a hit, no runs though, and had 1 strikeout in 1 inning pitched. And Sewald, all he had to do, man, 1 strike. But you know the Dodgers.
Yeah, I saw it yesterday, and
Teoscar Hernandez drove in Freddie Freeman.
You give them an inch. You know that lineup is so loaded that you can't afford to have very many mistakes against them if you want to win. And the Diamondbacks were in a position to do that and just couldn't close it out.
So they snatched defeat from the jaws of victory is what the Diamondbacks did. Another game tonight, I believe 6:40 is the start time for D-backs Dodgers live from Chavez Ravine. I'm sorry, 6:10, I believe. No, 7:10 tonight. Sorry. 7:10 tonight. Tomorrow night on the 4th, Zach Gallen will be going for the Snakes. I don't know who the starting pitcher is tonight. I'm not sure. Because we have some other Jordan Montgomery. He's moving to the IL, I understand, with an injury. We just can't seem to get we can't seem to get ahead with our pitching staff this year. We cannot seem to get going in the right direction. I mean, Ryan Nelson, he did pretty well against the Dodgers. I mean, he pitched 5 strong innings. But, yeah. Jordan Montgomery, I think, is going to be on the IL. I haven't heard the formal news yet. Maybe they're just skipping a start because they want to give him some extra rest. I don't know.
I'd say Christian Mignon, the probable starter for the Diamondbacks tonight.
Who?
I don't know the name, to be honest. Christian Mania. Does that mean anything to anybody?
Huh. Wow.
So probably a bullpen game if we're honest, because that's how Torey gets down.
Another bullpen game, yeah.
Because those go so well.
Well, anyway, so Dodger Blue against our Snakes tonight again. That will be at 7:10. And if you have the opportunity to watch, I think it's going to be a good series. We'll have to see what happens tonight. The Dodgers are ripe for the getting. Mookie Betts is gone. Did you see Shohei foul that off his foot last night?
I did, yeah.
I heard the entire ravine last night. Everybody in Union just gasped when Shohei limped out of the batter's box after fouling that off the top of his foot. You thought for sure, oh no, he's broken his foot.
I mean, that wouldn't you if you were rooting for him? That it looked serious. It did look serious at first.
And he did go to the clubhouse, so I'm sure that they iced it, and he got some treatment on it. But it's been a frustrating year for the Arizona Diamondbacks, and a lot of people are saying they're playing, they're playing with a lot of mediocrity. I don't think that's the case at all. I mean, like last night, they put up 10 hits again. I think the lineup needs to be tuned up. As I sit here and look at Corbin Carroll, who went again last night, he hitless for the game. In the last 10 games, Corbin Carroll is 5 for 35. You do the math on that. With 5 Ks, 1 stolen base, and 2 walks in the last 10 games. And he's still the leadoff hitter.
That has to be the most Torey Lovullo decision being made right now. It's clearly the wrong decision. He was hitting better when he wasn't leadoff. He was able to get his rhythm going, get the timing down. I don't know why it is that they keep running him out there leadoff. The pressure is obviously getting to him, and I don't know how much you believe this theory. I heard Ralph say it on Saturday that the shoulder might still be bothering him.
Might be. But I still don't understand. Ketel Marte is hitting the ball. He's got some pop in his bat, but why don't you move Ketel back up to the starting to the leadoff spot? Bring Alek Thomas or bring Geraldo Perdomo up and swap Corbin Carroll and Geraldo Perdomo. Why not do that? Why not give Corbin Carroll the benefit of the doubt and put him at the bottom of the lineup, bring Geraldo up, let him lead off? I feel like that would be at least something that would be appropriate for this team right now. But they are scoring runs in spite of Torey Lovullo's poor lineup management, in my opinion. Jock Peterson, again, had a big home run last night. He had 2 hits. At 5 times at bat, scored 2 runs, drove in an RBI because he hit the home run. It was a solo shot. Christian Walker, 2 RBI, and he had a home run last night. Lourdes Gurriel Jr., he had a base hit that scored. Well, I thought he had an RBI, but no, I didn't see that. I don't see that here in the box score. But he's hitting the ball well. Gabby Marino's hitting the ball. He had a hit and scored a run last night. Even Eugenio Suarez had a hit at 2 times at bat. And he drew a base on balls, and he got a hit last night. Jake McCarthy got a hit in his only appearance in a pinch hit role.
You just got to get a little bit more out of that pitching. That's really the key there. And when you get to the playoffs, pitching is more important than in the regular season. So if it's killing you now,
it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen.
Yeah.
The trade deadline.
I do need to see them get healthy, and I do need to see what Mike Hazen has in store. I am more trusting of Mike Hazen after what he was able to pull off these last couple of seasons in trade at the trade deadline. So I'm done killing him, but I'm not thrilled about some of the stuff Torey Lovullo does, because if the pitching's not there, then your margins are pretty thin for the decisions that you can make when you've got guys in your lineup, and you can't afford to have a guy like Corbin Carroll kind of wasting away at the top of the lineup because he's not hitting well. We can all see it. It's stubbornness, if anything. Either the numbers are telling him for some reason that Corbin's going to break out of the slump, which I don't understand how he came to that conclusion, or it's just being stubborn. But either way, the decision's wrong.
Corbin Carroll is not your leadoff hitter this season, at least not right now. So why do you keep forcing the issue? Yeah, you're paying the guy 110 over 4 years. Yeah, okay, I understand. But he's not your leadoff hitter. I don't care what you're paying him. Do you want to win, or do you want to just run a team out there and you really don't care? I think you want to win.
And they had him out there, I think, sixth in the lineup, fifth or sixth before for a couple of games, and he was hitting better.
The ball. Yeah.
And then they put him right, or Lovello specifically put him right back at leadoff, and he went right back to not hitting like he was before. I don't understand it. I just genuinely, I'd love to hear the explanation as to why it is that makes sense, because every time I see it, it doesn't visually make sense.
It's just frustrating. It's frustrating that, doing the same thing over and over and over and over again with the same result. That's insanity. That's insanity. And it's driving me crazy. It's driving me absolute bananas. Seeing every day the lineup card comes through on my phone and it's Corbin Carroll leadoff again. And if you'd like to fact check me, please do. Look at last 10 games and look at Corbin Carroll's numbers. I think you'll see that he's not the leadoff guy. In the last 10 games, let me repeat it, Corbin Carroll is 5 for 35 with 5 Ks, 1 stolen base, and 2 walks. I didn't check how many runs he's scored. It can't be that much because he's not getting on base.
And you're 5 for 35. That's terrible. Like there's no way to make that nice. But there might be a way to fix it. We'll see if Torey Lovello figures it out.
Let's see here. Ketel Marte, still your team leader with a 287 batting average, which that's got to tell. That's kind of telling right there. He was hitting above 300 just about a week ago, and now he's at 287. So he's hit a bit of a slump. Christian Walker is your RBI leader right now with 55. He is also your home runs leader with 18. Corbin Carroll is nowhere on this list. He is nowhere on this list. So he cannot be your leadoff hitter. Triple 8-368-1580. As we're going to 6 o'clock tonight, and then we're not going to be here tomorrow because it's the 4th of July. Then we will be off on Friday. And so it's a short week for the blender this week. Jeffrey back on Monday from his holiday. Oh, here's something. I just looked up Christian Mena. I think that's the way. He's been on their AAA Reno team. He'll be starting tonight against the Dodgers. Wow, what a way to break into the bigs. Sorry, kid. Hey, got good news, got bad news. Christian, you're going to go up to the big show. Oh, really cool. Can I call my parents? You might want to hold on that phone call because you're going against the Dodgers.
Do you want your parents to see you have your pitches launched into space? Because if that's the case, then, go ahead and give them a call. But that's a rough way to start. It's a rough way to start.
In 16 starts so far this year in Reno, Mena has 4.90. He's got a 4.90 ERA. So to make room for Mena on the roster, they optioned relief pitcher Gavin Hollowell to Reno. He is God help him. I mean, it's still a murderer's row of a lineup in LA. The Dodgers still. I mean,
with or without Mookie.
You got you got Freeman, you got Ohtani, Teoscar Hernandez has been hitting well. It's just a murderer's row there. Even Jason, was it Jason Hayward? Is that his name? The old man on the team. He's actually producing this year. So good news, bad news, Christian. We're going to the big show, but Pinocchio, Randy, you're playing my heart like a 5-string banjo. Can we skip to the hockey news? What?
You did mention that there's a potential that the Diamondbacks might be, or not the Diamondbacks, the Coyotes might be coming back.
We're not talking we're not talking hockey yet.
We're
not talking.
He's asking if
yet.
you could skip. Basically.
This is in the industry that you know as radio. This is called a tease.
I do. I'm not saying that you should. I'm just trying to clarify what it is that he's saying there with
the Berg is on the text line 888-368-1580. Afternoon, guys. Happy 4th. Don't want to hear any Paul Sewald experience negativity. Well, I did I badmouth Sewald? George did by yelling at him right off the start of the show today.
That's true. That did come up. Mm-hmm.
I mean, George, it basically laid it down on him. Speaking of George, I agree with you, Randy. So frustrating. 1 strike away with 2 outs and winning the game. These things will happen, though. What I don't understand is Torey Lovullo's insistence on doing this opener thing. It just doesn't work. They did it in the playoffs, too, and they almost always lost those games. Just find a guy to start the game and use Mantiply, Ginkel, and others later in the game. I agree, but I see some validity in using a starter in the situation you're in right now. Merrill Kelly's out. Now Montgomery is probably out. Erod hasn't been here all season yet. I'm hoping he's returning before the All-Star break, maybe. I heard that maybe he might be back to take on the Athletics at home. But he's a ghost. He's a ghost. He's still rehabbing. Randy, is Eugenio Suarez on that batting average list? 198. Oof. The whole team is.
The guys that are hitting are really hitting. The guys that aren't simply aren't. And I don't know what to do about that. Like, it's not, there's no middle. There's no guy that's just kind of hitting well.
You have a handful of people that are doing the work, right?
Yeah, and everybody else is just hacking air. It's horrific.
Corbin Carroll, the top of the lineup. I just don't get it.
Especially when it's a small sample size. I get that, but you have enough evidence, I think, to show that he's hitting better when he's not at the top of the lineup. Take that pressure off of his shoulders. He's still young.
I almost think that instead of Sewald coming in last night, now I know he's your closer, and I know you're playing closer. I almost think you change it up against the Dodgers. You bring that dude. Have you seen that guy that side armor that we've got on the team? What's his name? Robinson, something like that. He looks like he's 7'9" or something. He's got the longest legs I've ever seen and the shortest torso. He's all legs and arms. And he throws this kind of weird Kent Tekulve sidearm thing. And he's pretty good with it. Except sometimes he pulls it a little hard and no, moist one. I'm talking about pitching.
Ryan Thompson?
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
No, is that him? Ryan Thompson? Maybe. I think maybe you bring him in but again, I understand the Sewald thing. I don't get but I kind of do, because you're down on your luck in your bullpen. What else are you going to do, George? I mean, you just say it's easy, like Sunday morning. You just pick a guy and go with it.
That's the reason why you can just be the guy that tells everyone to fire everyone, because it's easy to say, well, you can't start that guy. But when you have to make the choice as to who to replace him with, that's a little bit more weight.
All right. Well, listen, we're late for the break, the first break of the daggum show. I'm sorry. We got to take a break. When we come back, we got a little more Diamondbacks talk. We've got some more baseball stuff to talk about. How about Bronny James today signing a contract? We'll talk about that. It's just around the corner here on the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Get insights into the sports betting market with VSiN's betting splits. See where the money is and keep updated on how the market is reacting. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
NFL training camp set to start later this month. Taking a look at Super Bowl 59 held in February in New Orleans, Kansas City. The betting favorite to be a three-peat champion. The Chiefs at plus 600. San Francisco lost Super Bowl 58 last season, plus 650 to win the Vince Lombardi Trophy. The Baltimore Ravens are plus 950, while the Detroit Lions, who made it to the NFC Championship game last year, plus 1,300. The Cincinnati Bengals plus 1,400, and the Philadelphia Eagles, a participant in Super Bowl 57, are plus 1,400. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Celebrate July 4th with savings at Lowe's. For a limited time, save on the essentials you need to make your garden pop for summer, like Miracle-Gro 25-quart potting mix. Get 2 bags for just $16 and get up to 40% off, plus save an extra $50 on every $500 you spend on select major appliances. Hurry, these deals won't last long because Lowe's knows summer savings. Valid through 7/10. Miracle-Gro excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Appliance savings vary based on purchase amount, excluding supply. See Lowe's.com for more details. While supplies last.
Hi, guys. Jeffrey O'Brien here. Have you ever gone to HarmonSolar.com? Well, you really need to, because everything you ever wanted to know about how solar power can save you big on your monthly electric bill is right there. It's online. Through your phone or through your computer, you can learn about tax credits, the equipment they use, look at how they do things for businesses as well as homeowners, see testimonials from happy customers, and I hear they got a pretty good podcast, too. Check it out. Go to HarmonSolar.com. That's HarmonSolar.com.
Celebrate July 4th with the hottest deals at Lowe's. Right now, get 2 select 2 or 2.5 quart red, white, and blue annuals for $10. And buy 2, get 1 free on select paint and exterior stain via Lowe's gift card rebate. Shop these deals before they're gone because Lowe's knows summer savings. Valid through 7/10. Annuals offer in-store only. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. Paint. More terms and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/rebates for details while supplies last.
Attention all Arizona workers. You may be entitled to receive earned paid sick time. Every Arizona employer is responsible for keeping track of your hours and recording how much earned paid sick time is available under state law. Posters about paid sick time and minimum wage laws also need to be posted in every office. Get posters and learn more at azica.gov. That's azica.gov. This message is sponsored by the Industrial Commission of Arizona.
Everybody's got a podcast these days. Comedy, politics, true crime, you name it. But how many actually teach you anything useful? Harmon Solar has an entertaining podcast that is vital if you've been thinking about looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Ralph and Ben explore the intricacies of utilities, equipment, processes, and more. Their primary objective is to educate and empower you to make informed decisions on your solar journey. So increase your knowledge, not your bills. Go check it out right now. It's the Harmon Solar Podcast at harmonsolar.com.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Ken Barkley here, reminding you to check out You Better You Bet. Why, you ask? Well, because we bring the fun, the insight, and all the wagertainment you need. Plus, hopefully, we win a couple bets along the way. From up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come with them, obviously. Plus, betting analysis from some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. Join myself and Nick Costos and tune into You Better You Bet. Weekdays from noon to 3 on Arizona's sports betting station 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Welcome back to the Daily Blender on this Wednesday, July 3rd. Hope you guys are making some great plans for the July 4th. What are you guys doing? Do you have anything big that you're going out to see fireworks anywhere, Keon? Are you going out to that Scottsdale thing?
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Yeah,
you're going to like it out there.
So, I'm,
Do you have the barbecue and all that?
Yeah.
They hooked you up, huh?
They really did. So I'm looking forward to it a lot.
Oh, man. It's all you can eat, too. So spare no expense. Make sure that you are ready to go. Just loosen that belt up and get yourself some good barbecue. It's good, and they have a lot of fun out there. They've got bands playing. They've got some dancing area up front there in case you want to. I mean, it's a family thing. It's a family fun type of thing. The kids have a lot of fun. So, but you taking the missus with you? Taking the little missy with you?
Yeah,
Good.
that's the plan. That's the plan.
Good, man.
So.
Good. Well, the fireworks show at the end of the night is really cool.
And I'm excited about it because they keep saying that they want this one to be the biggest fireworks show they've ever had. So,
yeah.
You know, I'm excited.
888-368-1580. What are you doing for us to mention? You texted in and let me know what's happening there. Big George, you're right. They have plenty of arms in the minor leagues. You can use as starters: Tommy Henry, Logan Allen, Josh Green, Diaz, Hughes. You can call one of those. They did call a guy up. So Christian Mena is going to be thrown to the wolves tonight. So 888-368-1580. The Berg says openers are okay. He also says, in a separate note, I love mustard and the New York Yankees. Is this backwards, Dave?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out.
Is this backwards?
Because I saw the Berg post a mustard hot dog on Twitter, and I'm confused.
Sorry, Vermont dogs. We've already given those away. We have no more. Yes, we have no bananas. We have no tickets to the Scottsdale 4th. Sorry. Heavy Metal Maniacs says, spill the beans. Did I just hear you say the Coyotes might be returning? What in the world is going? Well, you'll have to wait and see. You'll have to you can't. Well, yeah, you can because you're in town and then the Diamondbacks are in L.A. So you can wait around, can't you? Heavy Metal Maniacs. 888-368-1580. One other thing I wanted to talk about here. Jordan Montgomery is going to the IL, the 15-day. However, Gabby Marino came back. Alec Thomas returned. So those are pluses. Gabby Marino had that sprained thumb, and he was working and rehabbing out at Scottsdale, out at the facility, the spring training facility out there for the Diamondbacks. But it looks like, Jordan Montgomery hurt his knee. He had some inflammation in the knee, and they're trying to get that down. He's I guess been dealing with this for some time, and so now he's going to go. He's going to go to the 15-day. They'll try to get that inflammation down and try to give him and that knee some rest. They're certainly going to need it. So tonight, Christian Mena, who was picked up in a trade in this past offseason by the Snakes. He's going to get some work tonight. All right. 888-368-1580. We've got a little more baseball to talk about because the Orioles are on the cusp of breaking a record. The cusp of breaking a record of hitting 60 home runs in a month. The Orioles are on the cusp of this record.
Wow.
To become the third MLB team in history. Only the third team to hit at least 60 home runs in 1 month as a team. I mean, that's incredible.
The 60th was a grand slam. That is also incredible.
So we'll have to wait and see what they're going to do. They've got some boomers on that team. They've got some boomers on that team.
And they're all young.
Oh, yeah.
You guys are like 24, 25 years old. I mean, they're just getting started.
Yeah, they had a strong farm system, and now it's starting to pay off for them. So the Orioles, I said it before, I think that's the team to watch to end up going to the World Series. In my opinion, they have a great chance. They have a great chance. Right now, they're in first in the AL East, ahead of the Yankees. And they are just playing, and they're getting some great pitching too. Great pitching. They're a team to watch out for.
And they've uncoupled themselves from potentially the worst owner in baseball anyway.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah, no kidding.
So you've got a promising farm system that's starting to actually
Pay
give
off
you
for you.
major league talent, and your front office can actually make some moves without ownership telling you, nope, can't spend that, won't spend that, not paying for that. That helps a lot.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's good to have an owner who's invested in the game and wants to have a winning team, not just an owner who wants to do business and make some money and that's it, not worry about making championships or anything like that. So today, LeBron, as everybody expected, I think you expected as much as I did. Speaking of the NBA, LeBron signs a Laker-friendly contract. He could have got a lot more money, but he is trying to give the Lakers the opportunity to build the roster. He only signed a 2-year, $104 million deal with the Lakers today. How is this going to – I mean, that's going to free up a lot of money. That's going to free up some extra cap money for them to go out and get somebody.
Yeah, I think for him, he's still getting pretty much what he wants, which is a lot of money. And he's got his son on the team, but I don't know who they're going to get. Like that, I just don't know how much this actually helps them. That's the thing that I'm trying to get my head around, because I just think that the moment you draft Bronny James there, what you're essentially saying is what matters more to you is the feel-good story of LeBron and his son playing basketball together, as opposed to winning a title.
So this is something that I think LeBron is saying in bold and underlined letters. I want to win another championship. I want another championship, and I want to do it before I retire. And with him signing this 2-year, $104 million max deal, I mean, I suppose he could have gotten much more. He could have gotten over $200 million.
Well, it's the max he could have made on a 2-year. So
well, on a 2-year, yeah.
Yeah.
But if he went with a 4-year, I mean, he would have got well over 200.
Yeah, but it would have been the same against the cap yearly, or just about the same yearly. So unless they backloaded it or something like that. So I mean, I don't know that this is helping the team that much, but it does help them a little. I mean, having the flexibility to say moving into the future, even past LeBron, we'll be able to promise guys deals. That does help. It's not nothing, but I just don't know how bought in this organization is. As much as LeBron is saying those things, I don't know how much they're bought into winning a championship. None of the decisions they've made this offseason are championship decisions for a team that got bounced out of the first round. I understand that they're in a cap situation too, where they don't have all the money in the world, but that is, I think I think it's overstating what they can do to make themselves a championship team a bit much.
Okay. All right. Well, I understood that he was trying to take less money to help give the team approximately $12 million to spend on the roster to help this team get better. But
I think his intentions are good. I'm not saying that he's not trying to do what's best for the team in that regard, but they're still over the cap. They've still got second apron penalties. They've still like who are they going to go get? Paul George is off the board. Klay Thompson's off the board. Like who are you going to go get? This is not the strongest free agency class. Like I don't know what move they're supposed to make to become a championship.
DeMar DeRozan's still out there.
He is still out there. Is that a championship piece at this point in his career? He's 34. And the way that he plays the game, he's another ball dominant guy. So he doesn't shoot threes in a league where you kind of have to. Like I just don't know that he's the best fit for the Lakers. And even if he is, then what? Like is that what puts you over the hump? You avoided the sweep in round 1 of the playoffs. You got the gentleman's sweep. You're not close to anything.
Well, let's just keep it that way. Really okay.
Hey, I mean, I don't think they're going to change course because I said so. So
Well, also in breaking news today, Bronny James signed a 4-year guaranteed $7.9 million contract with the Lakers. Who didn't see that coming? Who did not see that coming? He begins at $1,157,143 in 24-25, progresses to 1.9, and then the following year 2.2, and then 2.4 for the final year, with a team option of 27 and 28. They also signed Dalton Knecht. As Jeffrey likes to say, that's German for night.
And he is a good player. He's a fantastic shooter. He's got the clutch gene.
I wonder how much they're going to pay Dalton Knecht.
Well, he's a first rounder, so I would think more than Bronny, just because of the pay scale. There's like a range that they can pay him in.
Boy, I think people are going to be yelling if he doesn't get paid more than Bronny.
I think that too. I also think that it's weird. Bronny's not on a two-way contract, and like that's unheard of for where he was drafted. You draft a guy like that, that's almost always a two-way deal. Just if for no other reason than having you play with the G League team just gives you more reps playing the game. And I guess Bronny's just above that. And I just there's just a bunch of little things with the Bronny thing to me that makes it seem like they're not serious about winning right now. Like they say,
don't say this too loud.
I mean, they're not gonna hear it. Surely there are people in LA screaming exactly this. I just don't understand what they're doing if their plan is to win right now. I don't think they can.
Did you see JJ Redick? Did you see him on the press conference earlier today? Or was it yesterday? Was it yesterday?
I saw some of the video of it on
Bronny deserves to be here. Well, he deserves to be here.
You're the coach. What are you supposed to say? You know, like I get that he's going to gas up his guys. Like that's the right thing for him to do. He is lying. Like
second round 55th pick. Who else at second round 55th got 7.9 guaranteed?
Yeah, it's and not a two-way deal.
Right.
Like you just sit on an NBA bench. You know, I mean, you look at some of the guys in the first round, Bronny's making their money.
Yeah.
Rookie salary for Stephen Castle, who was picked 4th overall, is $9 million. He's $1 million ahead of Bronny, and he was picked a whole round ahead of him. A whole round and change.
So the Bronny Braun era has begun in Los Angeles. It has begun in Los Angeles. The James gang. Ooh, that's good. I'll go ahead and let you guys in LA take that if you want. The James gang.
Yeah.
Huh? See what I did there? The James gang. 888-368-1580. More of your texts and a bit more as we wrap up hour one right around the corner. It's time to take a break here on the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
When you use Bounce dryer sheets and your clothes look amazing, it's the sheets. Less static in your life? Yeah, it's the sheets. Smelling fresher than ever? It's the sheet. Oh, so soft fabric? Ooh la la. It's the sheet. Less wrinkles on your clothes? You know it's the sheet. Bounce dryer sheets. More freshness, more softness. Less static, less wrinkles. It's the sheet.
Need a boost in capital or a flexible line of credit for your growing business? Hi, I'm Dylan Cohen at JR Capital. I can help you get the money you need fast. The process is a breeze with a simple application and same-day approvals. No more waiting, no more hassle. Just a straightforward path to securing the funds you need faster and easier than asking your banker. So call me, Dylan Cohen, at 602-834-7353. That's 602-834-7353. Or visit moneyradio.com and click on Finance with Dylan.
It doesn't get much better than having a job you love, working with people you love, children. And when you become a certified childcare provider, you can spend your days surrounded by your favorite people.
Enjoy a fulfilling career caring for up to 4 children in your home. You'll get to run your own business, support children's development, provide parents with peace of mind, and make a difference in your community. Get certified to become a childcare provider at childcare.azccrr.com. Sponsored by the Arizona Department of Economic Security.
One of the most common questions people ask is if they can still afford to retire on $1 million or $2 million anymore. With stocks near all-time highs and bonds at all-time lows, it's actually a great question. 2008 taught millions of retiring engineers, teachers, and other professionals a costly lesson that years of market gains can be wiped out in just weeks of market losses. Not a problem if you're 30 years old with a few decades to make it back, but not if you are in retirement or almost there. I like to follow the 30, 50, 70 rule. The closer you are to 50 or 70, then at least 30 to 50% of your money should be kept safe at all times, like in an uncapped, principal secure, next generation annuity. Come and see why.
Call leading annuity authority Steve Jurich now at 480-902-3333. Guarantees rely on the financial strength of the insurer, so compare with Steve. Call 480-902-3333 and visit iqannuity.com.
Hey guys, Jeffrey O'Brien here. Did you know Harman Solar has gone super high tech? There's an amazing tool at harmansolar.com that'll give you an instant ballpark solar estimate using satellites from space. You just type in a little information, and within seconds, you'll have an idea of just how little money it takes to save big on that monthly electric bill. I did it, and within seconds, they measured my roof and calculated my savings. It's very impressive. Go to harmansolar.com and give it a try yourself. That's harmansolar.com.
We know how it goes. You can't always tune in and hear your favorite shows and hosts.
Dude, look, I'm a loser. Okay?
It's cool, bro. That's why we post podcasts of your favorite shows and hosts. Listen when you want to. Listen on demand.
That is great and frankly kind of amazing.
Go to 1580thefanatic.com to download.
It's the Daily Blender on a Wednesday/Friday because it's the last day of the week for us. We're taking off tomorrow, which is July 4th. And then on Friday, we'll be back on Monday. Jeffrey O'Brien on holiday currently. He'll be back on Monday. I know Keon and I will be back on Monday for sure because we still have bills to pay. Jeffrey, being independently wealthy, he may or may not show up. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. 888-368-1580. That's the text line. Big George on there once again, telling me that Big George just, where did it go? Where'd it go? Oh, trust me, Randy and Keon, if Bronny James' name was not James and he was not the son of LeBron, he would not have gotten a 4-year contract worth 7.9. It's total BS that he earned, quote unquote, that contract. For once, I'd love to hear a coach or GM say, no, he didn't earn it, end quote. He's the son of LeBron James, and we want to keep Mr. James happy. So this is total and complete nepotism.
I mean, it is, but
yeah,
I don't like, again, JJ's not going to be the guy to say it because you can't sit there and say at a press conference, yeah, we just signed him to keep LeBron happy because now LeBron's not happy, right? Like now you've just made a fool out of his kid. Like you absolutely can't sit there and say that. And no matter how true it is.
Yeah,
you can't say it. He's doing the right thing by his team.
Mr. Wilbur on the text line says, do you think Bronny still gets an allowance from his dad? No.
I'm willing to bet not anymore.
No.
If he was,
no.
Which with the money he was getting from NIL, which I hear was also outrageous, no. I think Bronny was doing okay, and I think he's doing better now because of course
I don't think he probably gives his dad allowance. That's what I think. I don't know.
I mean, NIL money doesn't go away when you graduate. You keep those sponsors and you continue. So he's got that, and now he's got himself nearly $8 million.
All right, Monkey Puncher, I'll go there with you. Monkey Puncher says, if Dylan Cohen is interested, I'm free for the 4th of July, looking for somebody to shoot off some fireworks with.
Wow. The thirst is real. You should get you a glass of water there, Monkey Puncher. That's
Vermont Dog says, sorry, yo, check it. If you end up not going, Keon, I can use those tickets to impress a girl I'm dating. Yo.
Well, I'm currently using those tickets to impress a girl, so I'm sorry that I'll let you know if something changes. But it's working out well for me so far. So Scottsdale4th.com, I think, is a way to get your own.
Last Optimist is picking up my James Gang name for Bronny and Bron, saying that the Laker fans will be singing, don't you know that's the sound of the men working on the James Gang.
I'm not
See, it was a song. That was a song way back when. Yeah, never mind.
I personally didn't get the reference, but also,
James Gang.
Gonna have to look that one up later.
Walter Mellon says, if this is supposed to be a Friday show, why are we still on the rails? Let's get the show off the rails. Well,
I would appreciate it if you didn't, but
y'all are the fourth dimension. I have no control over it. Speaking of off the rails, I'm about to do it right now. I'm about to do a hard left. You ready?
Here we go. Left turn.
I was reading today, former McDonald's chef reveals menu items you should, and these are all in caps, never order from the McDonald's fast food chain. Mike Haraz, I think it is, was the manager of culinary innovation for McDonald's U.S. menu. The 40-year-old from Illinois shared his favorite meal and best item swaps. He also warned foodies that timing is everything when it comes to best taste. The former chef, McDonald's chef, says that let me get my bearings here. That he explained that he would never order the iconic bagel breakfast sandwich. Have you had one of those?
I haven't. I
you
usually
go to the McDonald's?
Not for breakfast.
Really?
Yeah, they're not my breakfast spot. I don't go to very many places for breakfast. If I have breakfast,
I'm a big breakfast guy.
I usually make breakfast at home.
Oh, I'm a big breakfast guy.
I'll get some ham and eggs and cook that up.
Oh, yeah, that's good too. Chicken fried steak and eggs.
Oh, you know it.
he explained he would never order, and he says never order the iconic bagel breakfast as it is, and and it would switch the standard folded egg to either a round egg or the scrambled option. So there you go. If you're going to get the bagel breakfast, get the scrambled option or ask for a round egg instead of the folded egg. And here's why. He says that that egg seems to be a little dry and tasteless. Dry and tasteless.
Apparently.
And he also says that timing is everything. That timing is everything. You've got to arrive at the right time. Because when the hamburgers come off the grill or the food items come off the grill, that's when they're the best. If they've been sitting for a while, not so much. Mike, who spent several years developing new items and limited time offers, revealed, I feel like folded eggs on their breakfast sandwiches tend to be dry, lacks flavor, and the new bun is not as good as it used to be. So I recommend asking for it steamed for a better burger experience.
Really?
These are tips you're only going to get here on the Daily Blender, ladies and gentlemen.
Randy with the McDonald's.
I'm bringing it today. I got the A game.
Dive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I got the A game today. I never eat at McDonald's. I used to eat at McDonald's when I was in high school, back in the dark ages, back in the the horse and carriage, the horse and buggy, situation.
That long ago.
Yeah. Mike said his advice is based on personal taste preferences, as there's nothing to avoid from a food safety perspective. He has to kind of say that, doesn't he? Or he's going to get sued, right?
I think so. That's my guess.
He does know tricks of the trade because he's got over 20 years of professional experience.
So you got to give him that credit at least.
Best option is the quarter pounder with cheese, but you need to eat it within a few minutes of it being served. See what I mean about timing?
Mm-hmm.
When it first comes off the grill, you got to snap it up. Timing is everything, he says.
So you got to figure out when your McDonald's is getting the stuff to you fresh, because
the U.S. has switched. The U.S. McDonald's, I guess, has switched to cooking fresh beef to order for quarter pounders. If you wait too long to eat it, all the quality improvements are lost, and it tastes the way it used to. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes sense.
That was my meal: the quarter pounder cheese, no onions, the large fries, and then the large Coke. And I don't know what it is about their soda machines at McDonald's, but they have like magic in them because they always have that right mixture. He used to conduct all sorts of different tests, making sure that the restaurants were following procedures, and they do have a lot of procedures to follow. I may or may not have worked in the past, years and years and years ago, at a McDonald's. I was a grill master at McDonald's. I could run that kitchen by myself, Jack. The thing about it is you've got to remember timing. Remember, get the steamed bun, and remember to get the round egg on that bagel sandwich. Because the folded egg, you'll taste a difference, at least according to this guy, Mike Harris. I don't know how to say his name. It's kind of hard to say his name.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I can see your point there. Yeah.
Haracz. Haracz. Anyway, there it is. Your McDonald's tips and tricks for you, and you're not going to get that information just anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Kiss to Cook says the oxymoron McDonald's and Chef. Chef, you mean as meat and gristle grinders?
Well, someone designs the menu and
he's got to be a chef to design the thing.
Yeah. What
You
they
would
do
think.
after he designs it
Right.
is not really his fault. So, yeah, chef.
It's Oily Stool says, I'm confused. Is this McDonald's cook part of the new Arizona Coyotes ownership group? I don't think he's going to have the capital to pay that lofty expansion fees. No, he's not part of the Coyotes. You guys are really biting on this teaser I have coming up, and I think you will be shocked. I don't believe you in the fourth dimension were able to find this information. Only I could when I was prepping for the show today. Big George says, wow, Randy, love the reference to Sam Cooke's 1960 classic, The Chain Gang. As the song goes, well, don't you know, that's the sound of the men working on the chain gang. Yeah, I already sang it, Big George. You didn't hear me sing it?
Well, yeah, I guess he's reinforcing it. I don't know.
Moist One says, shout out to all the real eaters out there.
Moist One.
What?
Stop. Moist One. Moist One.
What?
Moist One.
Last Optimist. Any bets on the Lakers dropping the last 2 years of options on that contract the moment LeBron retires? I don't know. Let me call let me call the guy that knows, Shohei.
Yeah, let me go ahead and just check the Bronny contract on the SPO track.
Yeah.
Because I don't think there's a team option with that one. But if there is, I don't think they're going to keep him if he doesn't develop into anything. I can tell you that.
You have to wait and see. That's hour one in the books. We're heading into hour two, just around the corner. We're going to talk about some QB stats, over and unders.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that.
Also, club option after 3 years. So we'll see. We'll see.
There's NCAA basketball players that want to sue the NCAA. Oh, boy. Who didn't see that coming? A whole lot more. It's Daily Blender on this Wednesday, July 3rd here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-786-9300, 800-786-9300, 800-786-9300.
Celebrate July 4th with the hottest deals at Lowe's. Right now, get 2 select 2 or 2.5 quart red, white, and blue annuals for $10. And buy 2, get 1 free on select paint and exterior stain via Lowe's gift card rebate. Shop these deals before they're gone because Lowe's knows summer savings. Valid through 7/10. Annuals offer in-store only. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. Paint. More terms and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/rebates for details while supplies last.
Volunteer now. Help vulnerable and oftentimes overlooked children in Arizona. The Foster Care Review Board is a panel that advises our juvenile courts on the best interests of children in out-of-home care. Volunteer now. You can change the life of a child for the better. Visit azcourts.gov/volunteer to learn about the Foster Care Review Board. That's azcourts.gov/volunteer. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Supreme Court.
Steve Jurich here. After working in financial services for over 20 years, I finally confirmed what investors really want, including me. And it's simple. All they're asking for is 20% annual return with no risk and 100% liquidity. Here's the problem. A money market is safe and liquid, but offers almost zero yield. Mutual funds and ETFs are liquid with upside potential, but aren't safe. A carefully selected next generation index annuity through IQ Wealth may offer 10% ample liquidity, principal protection, and a lifetime income yield potentially double to triple that of quality bonds. By yielding more income using fewer dollars, our system allocates more money for you for capital growth. It's a winning combination.
Call leading annuity authority Steve Jurich now, 480-902-3333. Guarantees rely on the claims paying ability of the insurer, so compare with Steve, 480-902-3333. Call Steve now.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
And welcome everybody to Wednesday, July 3rd, hour number 2 of the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, as we broadcast live from the Harmon Solar Studios, beautiful uptown Scottsdale. Right over there, the sexiest man in sports talk radio, that's Keon Rose. My name is Randy White. Jeffrey O'Brien is on vacation. Be back Monday. As we enter this hour, got a lot of talk about the NCAA basketball players suing the NCAA. The Lakers adding some coaching staff. Tayshaun Gibson, that's rough. And also a discussion with my friend Keon. We're at some football discussion about quarterback stats over and under this upcoming season. I think it's going to be fun. You are the fourth dimension texting in at 888-368-1580. That's our text line, and that's what makes the show go around later on in the show. And this is not just fodder to keep you listening. This is real stuff. And I'm trying to confirm my sources. Could there be a group of people led by a notable figure leading a movement to bring the Coyotes back to Arizona? That's the big story today. Is there a movement afoot to bring the Coyotes back to Arizona. Talk about that coming up on this Daily Blender. First, what do you know about Kemba Walker? He seems awfully young. He's only 34. And why do you think he's walking away from the NBA?
Because I think at 34, so in the NFL, when you talk about the wear and tear on the body of a running back, and NBA players don't take the contact and the punishment that an NFL running back would, but they run more. And at some point, when you get to around 34, you've been playing basketball for, you got to say you graduated at 22. That's a 12-year career. And then, of course, all of the college that you've played. If you played 4 years of college, which I don't think Kemba did, but he did play more than one. And then you play high school, and then you play like the wear and tear on your body. 34 is when it starts to get just painful to play the game. Now, LeBron is a freak. He can keep going forever.
I mean, LeBron is clearly made to be an athlete. I mean, he's got the perfect body for an athlete.
Yeah, I mean, LeBron is not the norm. He's a bizarre aberration. Like Jordan played that long, like that's usually when guys start hanging it up. And I think that Kemba's done a lot for the game of basketball. First off, the single greatest NCAA March Madness run that I have ever seen. And I know that there are other candidates out there, but for me personally, in my lifetime, for who I watched, Kemba, when he was at UConn, that dude was a problem. And they won. They were a low seed in their conference tournament. I think they were in the Big East at the time. They
take it easy, Moist One. Take it easy.
They were in the Big East, had to win every single game, including the final, to get in. Then they did that. And then, as the hottest team in basketball, won every game in the NCAA tournament and became the champs. Like that run made Kemba Walker a first round basketball player in the NBA in the NBA draft, and deservedly so. And I think he's had a very good career where, if you combine college and his pro stuff, like there might be a Hall of Fame argument for him. I don't know that he gets in, but because the Basketball Hall of Fame also includes college, the college argument might actually get him close.
Four-time NBA All-Star, national champion at UConn. Kemba Walker's stepping away from the Charlotte Hornets, but only as a player, because earlier today he announced that he's joining the coaching staff. Now you got something in Charlotte with that Hornets team that could be a valuable part, where you have a guy like Kemba Walker who just retired and who is a legit NBA guy, four-time All-Star, national champion, who knows X's and O's probably better than most of the kids playing the game right now. Now you got a guy that can really train and mentor some of these young players. And so the Charlotte Hornets, do they become more dangerous because Kemba Walker now is there and guys may want to go there just to play under his tutelage?
I think that he helps the guards a lot. He was a brilliant point guard, knows how to play the position, knows how to play it from a mental level, but also had the athleticism. A guy like Lonzo Ball could really learn a lot from Kemba Walker. Kemba knows how to navigate being specifically a guy from Charlotte. He got drafted by the Hornets. That's where he started his NBA career before, he played there for 7 years, something like that. So like he was absolutely he's absolutely dialed into the league and where it's at right now. And I think that as far as being a coach who can help a staff prepare young guards for what it's like playing at the NBA level, he's going to be one of the best guys in the business. And I hope that maybe one day down the line, we hear the talks or the rumblings about Coach Kemba Walker. That'd be very cool.
So Kemba Walker is hanging up the basketball sneakers, but he is continuing on his career in basketball by becoming a part of the coaching staff as a player enhancement coach. That, according to Shams Charania. By the way, Shams Charania is always spot on. I mean,
the guy doesn't miss.
If Shams Charania says something, I believe it. I don't feel like I need to check it against anything else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because generally Shams Charania he's on the ball, and then seconds later, Wojnarowski or some of these other talking heads
sometimes
come out with stuff that he's already printed.
So Woj gets the inside track on him sometimes, because they're both the two best in the business, and
I think so.
It's funny because they hate each other. So when they try to get the story before the other guy, it's actually personal. Like they really can't stand each other. But yeah, no, Shams is as good as it gets. If he says it's true or Woj says it's true, those are the two guys. To me, I take that to the bank.
Walker was one of the game's best scoring point guards, a 5-star recruit out of high school, delivered on his promise in 3 seasons at UConn, earned his consensus All-American honors as a junior, and led UConn to a number 3 seed in the NCAA tournament. Then the Huskies defeated Kentucky and Butler after advancing to the Final Four to secure the program's 3rd national championship. He joined the then Charlotte Bobcats as the number 9 pick of the 2011 draft. He helped lead Charlotte to 2 playoff appearances and made 3 All-Star teams in 8 seasons with the franchise. Hornets traded Walker to the Boston Celtics ahead of the 1920 season. Walker made another All-Star team in his first year in Boston, went on to play 3 more NBA seasons. Lingering knee injuries that required 3 surgeries throughout his career limited him to 9 games in his final NBA season with the Mavericks. He played limited minutes with Monaco last season and is now calling it a career. I mean, that's a pretty damn good resume right there.
It's about as good as it gets. Say, look, you averaged 20 points a game in the NBA.
Yeah.
You were doing something right. And he was. He absolutely was.
Averaged 19.3, like you said, 5.3 assists, 3.8 rebounds, and 1.2 steals per game. Shot 41.8% from the field, 36% from 3-point distance. And at his peak, he averaged 25.6 points a game with 5.9 assists per game.
He did it as a smaller player. He's 6 foot. And honestly, it's a dubious 6 foot. I think that guy's closer to 5'11".
Yeah.
But yeah, he's smaller, and small guards have trouble surviving in the NBA because as much as it doesn't feel like that league is physical, it's more physical than the average person's taking. If you're undersized, you are getting beaten up, and he took the punishment and dished out some of his own, and he used that elite speed that he had when he came out of UConn, and he really made life difficult for a lot of people trying to cover him and guard him. And I'm rooting for the guy in the second chapter of his life when you're heading to coaching more so than being a player.
Absolutely.
I just think that when you see guys like that, they're good guys like that, those are the people you root for. And I'm always going to root for a guy like Kemba Walker. I just like everything about the way the guy carries himself and the way that the guy's played the game throughout his career. He's always done it the right way.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Kemba Walker calling it a career and immediately picking up a job as a player enhancement coach with the Charlotte Hornets.
And props to the Hornets for doing right by a guy that they drafted who was a part of their franchise. And when they were the Bobcats, like they were the Charlotte Bobcats, that was arguably one of the worst teams I've ever seen. And Kemba Walker got that team from there to being, year in and year out, at least a respectable basketball team.
Hang on a second. I have to talk amongst yourselves.
I only have one self, but no, I think that he not only was he a guy that had a great career, but when you start to look at some of the accolades and awards that were there, he was in the most improved player conversation a couple of times in his career, 3rd team All NBA back in 2018, the 2018-2019 season. When he was at his peak, he was averaging 20 points a game, and I don't know anybody who could stay in front of Kemba Walker.
Yeah. I remember him playing. Boy, you're right. He was very difficult to defend. 888-368-1580. Lost Toby wants to know, did Jeff get deported back to Canada?
He's going to hate Jeff. That. He's going to hate that on multiple levels. The question, calling him Jeff, he's going to hate that on many levels. Jeffrey does not like to be called Jeff.
I think what he needs to realize is because I have shared on this very radio program that Jeffrey is originally Canadian. Although he continues to deny that, and I don't know why he would do that.
Well, I don't think that he is. He's much. I think he's way too impolite to be a Canadian.
Big George wants to know, wondering, do the employees at McDonald's yell out, "Yes, chef," at the McDonald's kitchen like the great TV show The Bear?
No, because it's fast food.
Now, they might do it at their corporate kitchen in Chicago. You know, they have a whole thing there in Chicago.
Yeah, and maybe they do it there because that is an actual kitchen. Like
they do have legitimate chefs there. I know that Kiss the Cook doesn't believe that, but
no, they do not. And if you would remember, in season 1 of the TV show The Bear, it was a fast food restaurant. He deliberately changed it from that to a fine dining restaurant. So no, Big George, I don't think that they call out "Yes, chef."
Bat Flipper says, Keon, I agree. Kemba and Carmelo. Best Final Four performances. Have a great, safe weekend, gentlemen. Thank you, Bat Flipper. You do the same.
Bat Flipper, be safe. And look, I couldn't agree more. It's just some of the best basketball I've ever seen in college, and Kemba Walker played it.
Moist One says, get your mind out of the gutter. I was talking about Randy's McDonald's hacks. Not mine. I didn't come up with them. That was like a legit corporate chef for McDonald's that came up with those hacks. Big Jake, let's not lie to ourselves. Just like Tiger Woods, LeBron has purchased his physique. EPA, HGH, and whatever else custom-made enhancers his traveling medical staff has concocted for him, like Tom Brady as well. Are you naive enough to believe it was an avocado ice cream and cutting out beer is how Tommy got better, stronger, faster, the older he got? The UFC is the worst. Alexander Volk got bigger, faster, stronger as he aged. This is not how the natural biology works.
Well, with all due
Jake bringing the medical isms here.
Big Jake, I appreciate your opinion on the matter, but there are athletic freaks that exist. Like Bo Jackson was a real person that was not taking steroids because we didn't have the steroids back then that we do now. Bo Jackson was a real human being that did weirdly, absurdly athletic things all the time. LeBron James, pre-steroids, was already insanely athletic and amazing. Like LeBron's the worst example to bring up in this because Tom is somebody who got more athletic for some reason as he went along. LeBron is just the same athletic. And his numbers are the same, but his body's breaking down. So how come the steroids didn't stop him from getting injured multiple times in the last handful of years? Like everything doesn't have to be the guy's cheating. And maybe he is. Like, I'm not saying it's not the case, but you're going to have to prove it. It can't just be you feel like that's not possible, so it's not possible. That can't. I'm not going to go off of Big Jake's vibes. That's not how this works.
Well, Big Jake responds saying, "What? Bo is juiced out of his brains."
He was okay. Prove it. Prove it. You don't have evidence. You just have guys who are insanely athletic, and those people exist. They're 1 in a million for a reason. There's not another LeBron. There's not another Jordan. There's not another Brady. Like everybody that you find, it's like there are 8 billion people on the planet right now. Do you think that maybe a handful of them are exceptionally athletic? That's possible. And so if you're going to challenge that, you have to bring evidence. It can't just be Big Jake had the vibes that Bo Jackson was juiced. So Bo Jackson was juiced. Like you need actual, like Barry Bonds. We have him the Balco stuff. We have his head literally growing 3 sizes. Like there are things that we can point to for guys that obviously cheated. Look at Roger Clemens was a skinny, small framed guy. And by the end of his career was built like a linebacker. That's not what has happened to LeBron. LeBron is pretty much the same LeBron we've been seeing for 20 years.
The Tom says, Bo don't know juice. If he did, goodness, Thanos would be scared.
I mean, the college stories about Bo Jackson. Like, when did he start? If that's your claim. You don't have the proof, so you can't tell me.
Well, Kista Cook wants to liven it up here and make it a little more happy. Sharing that the James gang, they were Western bank robbers and murderers, much like this James gang. Not only did they rob the Lakers, but also treated them like Bill Cosby treated his dates.
Well, first off, let's not invoke the name of Bill Cosby into this. This is so much less serious than that. Bill Cosby was raping people. So let's just go ahead and pump the brakes on that. But I will also say that the James gang, the LeBron James and Bronny James version, not the actual James gang.
The James gang.
They didn't,
I like it.
They didn't rob the Lakers. The Lakers took their wallets out and handed them the cash. If you walked into the bank and you didn't have a gun and you didn't threaten anybody and you went to the teller and said, "Hey, I'd like some money," and they just opened the register and gave you $1,000, you didn't rob them. You probably still shouldn't take it, but you didn't rob them. They gave it to you. The Lakers are dumb. That's why they paid these guys. It has nothing to do, and specifically Bronny. That's why they've done this. This has nothing to do with them robbing them because LeBron was a free agent. If the Lakers said, "Oh no, that's a bridge too far. This is ridiculous," they could have not drafted Bronny. They could have let LeBron walk and said, "Hey, you know what? We're going to rebuild. Best of luck to you on the rest of your NBA career. Hope you catch Jordan." They could have done that. They didn't do that. Nobody robbed the Lakers. The Lakers took the money and put it in the bag for no reason, but they felt like it.
Willingly gave it up.
Exactly.
And in 6 years, what does he have to show? He's got an in-season tournament and a shortened season tournament championship.
Which is cool. And that was early in his being a Laker. Everything that's happened since, it's been all downhill from there.
All right, so we've got more text rolling in on the text line. I'll get to them as I can. When we come back, there's some NCAA basketball players that feel like they've been robbed, that they did not, they were not treated justly, and so they're going to sue the NCAA. That's what they're going to do. I'll sue. That's what I'll do. That's when we come back here on the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
We all know just because gifts for loved ones can look like flowers, a spa day, or maybe even planning date night. But what about something that will truly last and protect your loved ones along the way? I'm talking about life insurance. I called SelectQuote to secure our coverage and couldn't believe how easy and affordable it was. I'm 40, and my $500,000 policy was only $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. And with their same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. With monthly payments less than the cost of a bouquet of flowers, this is the perfect time to make sure your family is protected.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-596-2626 or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-596-2626. 1-800-596-2626. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Life hack number 7, get an iPhone 12 on Straight Talk.
Life hack.
Here's how it works. You walk into Walmart, go to the electronics section, ask for iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system, and select the new Silver Unlimited plan. They'll smile because it's a good plan. You get real unlimited data all for just $20 a month for the whole first year. Get it at Walmart or StraightTalk.com. Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Taxes and fees apply. Requires activation of iPhone 12 and a new Silver Unlimited plan or higher end auto pay enrollment. $25 a month service credit applied for up to 12 months if eligibility requirements are met. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com.
It doesn't get much better than having a job you love, working with people you love, children. And when you become a certified childcare provider, you can spend your days surrounded by your favorite people. Enjoy a fulfilling career caring for up to 4 children in your home. You'll get to run your own business, support children's development, provide parents with peace of mind, and make a difference in your community. Get certified to become a childcare provider at azchildcare.org. Sponsored by the Arizona Department of Economic Security.
Everybody's got a podcast these days. Comedy, politics, true crime, you name it. But how many actually teach you anything useful? Harman Solar has an entertaining podcast that is vital if you've been thinking about looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Ralph and Ben explore the intricacies of utilities, equipment, processes, and more. Their primary objective is to educate and empower you to make informed decisions on your solar journey. So increase your knowledge, not your bills. Go check it out right now. It's the Harman Solar Podcast at harmansolar.com.
Discover the ultimate diamond buying experience, unparalleled quality at unbeatable prices.
Hi, I'm Diamond Dave, and at our Buy Appointment office, you'll receive truly personalized one-on-one service
for your needs.
No high overhead of standalone stores or mall hours to pay for. We're direct diamond importers designing and manufacturing in-house, eliminating all the middlemen.
Stop overpaying at retail and enjoy serious savings on quality diamonds.
From the first consult to the final reveal, we'll guide you through every step, ensuring you get your dream diamond ring, necklace, or earrings without compromise.
Romantic proposals, anniversary splurges, or just because. Indulge in diamonds for less.
Call today for your private appointment for a dazzling diamond.
Call Diamond Dave at 480-397-2450, 480-397-2450, or follow him on Instagram at Diamond Dave Cantor. That's at Diamond Dave, Kantor.
Hi, I'm Ralph Romano.
And I'm Neil Lynch.
And we're the Weekend Warriors.
Ralph, I think we should change the name of our show.
To what?
Let's call it 30 Years Sports Talk Interview Fun Time.
What kind of name is that?
Well, we've been friends for over 30 years.
Yeah.
We talk about sports.
Sure.
We interview personalities from the Arizona sports scene.
Okay.
And we have fun.
Dude, are you done?
For now, yes.
Look, Neil, all this is true, but let's just stick to our regular name.
Okay, Ralph, but I think my name is better.
Anyways, it's the Weekend Warriors every Saturday at 10 a.m. right here on 1580 The Fanatic.
It is the Daily Blender on this Wednesday, July 3rd. Welcome back to the show. Jeffrey O'Brien on vacation. I'm Randy White over there, the sexiest man in sports talk radio. That's Keon Rose. And you are the fourth dimension texting in at 888-368-1580. So I don't know if this is getting out of hand, this NIL thing. But apparently there's a group of basketball players, college basketball players, that are going to sue the NCAA for unauthorized use of their name, image, and likeness in March Madness highlight promos. I don't know if you saw this.
I saw a little bit of it.
16 former men's college basketball players, including Mario Chalmers, Sharon Collins, Ryan Boatwright, Arizona guard Jason Terry, have sued the NCAA in multiple conferences for unauthorized use of their name, image, and likeness in March Madness promos and highlights.
I mean,
is this getting out of hand here? Is this like legit?
This is legit. Like, I do think that
this is legit.
Yeah, because if
promos,
yeah, because you were using their faces to get people to watch. When people watched, they watched your advertisers. They didn't get any kickback from that. People weren't tuning in to watch your advertisers. They were watching these players. And you use them to promote the tournament. They never got anything from that. You did. You got eyeballs on the show. No one else did. So those guys are saying, hey, look, if we're going to start paying for name, image, and likeness now, where's our money? We helped you make billions of dollars. It's billions. You were making it off of us. We didn't have the ability to do or say anything. We couldn't negotiate. You told us we were student athletes, so we went and played. But you were making money, and we were doing the work.
I don't know, man.
Like there are plenty of ways in which NIL is absolutely getting out of hand, but the guys that are like, hold on, you made money off of us. Where's our cut? They have a point, in my opinion. It's just they didn't ask to be used in that promotional material. No one asked them for permission. No one said, hey, can we go ahead and do this? Like, no, they just used it because they assumed they had the right to do that.
Boy, I guess what they're going to have to do from now on, CBS and the people that carry the March Madness, that bring all the eyeballs so that these guys play in front of a national audience. I guess what they're going to have to do is just show the ball going in a basket.
Or you could just pay the guys
and
just say, hey,
and not have any faces or likenesses. Just they're going to have to figure out how to just show the ball being passed around and going in the basket. You know, and hear the announcers scream and yell, but don't say any names. Don't say any names, because if you say any names, that's going to cost money.
I mean, it is, but they have it. They've been making it off of these guys for years. They make $1 billion every year. And according to the Goog, 85% of its annual revenue comes during March Madness. You can't peel off a couple of dollars to pay the guys that are promoting the thing you make 85% of your revenue off of.
You're saying it a couple dollars like it's a couple. These guys want millions.
But they have billions. And the gap between $1 billion and $1 million is
how much does the NCAA dole out putting this on though?
Well, they're not doing it out of the kindness of their own heart.
No, I mean, how much does the NCAA pay? Think about venues, staffing the venues, staffing the NCAA playoffs, staffing the Final Four. I mean, how much they outlay a lot of money, hundreds of millions, I would bet.
Yeah. That still leaves you with several hundreds of millions after. Even if you pay these guys. You're not paying them hundreds of millions for this. There's no way you make $1 billion every year. This event makes 85% of the money you make, and the people playing the game who are being used in promotional material can't get a cut. To me, that doesn't make any sense.
It just doesn't make any sense to me the other way. I mean,
so you want them to just be happy.
I mean, we're talking about promos here. We're not talking about these guys are making money off of this.
But the promos draw in the eyeballs. The promos remind me, oh yeah, I did want to watch Kemba Walker after what they did in the Big East tournament.
But don't the promos also bring people to watch these student athletes, and don't they go on to have great careers in the NBA?
Some of them, but the fact is that's not a guarantee. The promo doesn't guarantee your NBA success. You're still working. You've been working. And there's a reason why the NCAA doesn't like the G League Ignite that the NBA is doing. They're not thrilled about guys going off to play in Europe when they could play in college, because the guys are just choosing other options. Like, if I'm just a commodity to you that you can shop wherever and I should just be grateful, then let me go to Europe and get paid. And when I come back, I can still be an NBA player, and I was making money for the work I was doing. Like, the guys aren't doing that. Nobody in this equation is doing this for free. And nobody in this equation is doing this because it's out of the kindness of their own heart. Everybody's trying to make a buck. That's America.
I don't know.
So, if
I feel like it. I mean, where does it end? Where does it end?
It ends when you've paid the people whose faces you use.
But how much is that, though? I mean, how much is that?
Well, you can negotiate that. Like, okay, maybe this guy wants too much money. What can I bargain with someone who wants a little less? That's how a market works. And what college wants is they want a fake market. They want to be able to use players.
Well, I'm not saying college is right. I'm just saying we're talking about promos here. We're not talking about the game itself. We're talking about promos.
Yeah, but the promos weren't
maybe
used.
A second or two of their face on a promo.
But the promo is the reminder to watch. Like, if the promos weren't working, they wouldn't use them. It might be a few seconds, but that ad runs for the entire month, multiple times. You know how they run these commercials. They run them forever. Of course, I know there are players I'm looking forward to watching. And if it didn't pull the eyeballs in, they wouldn't even bother to shoot them. So it's clearly worth something monetarily. You should pay for that.
Jeffrey's got an adage where the pendulum is like, it's like way over here now. It's like way over here. Sometime it's going to come back over this way again before it actually settles somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, but I think to get to the middle, you have to open up the ability to negotiate. And for that, the guys have to actually be able to negotiate, which they can't right now.
Well, it doesn't seem like there's any negotiation going on at all. I mean, these guys are just suing.
Well, that's a form of negotiation, and I imagine they didn't just.
I don't think that's a form.
It is, because if I'm suing you, you can say, "Now hold on, I don't owe you. I don't owe you that." And there's somebody who's arbitrating in the middle. So these guys are suing because they're like, "Well, you made all this money off of us," and I don't assume that they went straight to suing the NCAA. I imagine there was a middle ground. And because I know the NCAA to be crooked, like I'm not going to trust them that they weren't ripping these guys off blind.
Listen, I understand what you're saying. Please try to hear what I'm saying.
I do. I don't.
We're talking about a 10 or 15 second or 30-second promo.
I agree, and I hear what you're saying. I don't necessarily agree with your point, but I hear what you're saying. I do. I just think that even if it's 10 or 15 seconds, it was worth something. Otherwise, you wouldn't run it. You know what I mean? Like, it was clearly helping you make money at a time in the year where this is your biggest money-making time, and these players are your biggest money-making faces of your sport. How is that free for you? How do you get to have that for free?
I'm not saying anything about free. I'm just saying this also it helps the players as well.
It doesn't help everybody. Like, there are some guys who are really great in college who are going to be engineers. Doesn't really help you if you're an engineer. You are already going to school to be an engineer. You're doing the work to be an engineer. This is about promoting you in the sense of like, well, people can now watch you in college. Cool. What do I get out of it?
I don't want to sound all old and decrepit here. I'm just saying, I mean, when's enough? I mean, gee whiz.
I think enough is enough when the guys who are involved get paid. I think that's fair.
What does that mean? Get paid? What does that mean? What does that look like to you?
Well, after being sued, I hope that there's a way to negotiate that, because you don't have to pay. You didn't have to use their faces before. These are the guys now that you can't negotiate with because you've already used them. But going forward, yes, you should be able to now say, I don't like your price. I'm going to go to a player who's maybe not as popular as you, but he's still pretty popular and he costs less. Now you have some form of negotiation because they didn't have it before. The players never had a choice either. So now they're suing because they didn't even get the chance to negotiate.
Well, I hope they work it out, but it just seems a bit excessive to me. I mean, this is something that happened years ago. This is not like this past year.
Yeah.
This is something that happened years ago.
And was it not valuable years ago? It was valuable years ago.
Apparently it is, because they're suing them and they feel like they can get the money.
And apparently it is because the NCAA used it.
I just feel like it's more of an opportunity for lawyers to, open up lawsuits and make even more money themselves.
Sure. I mean, the lawyers also have to get paid. And like, this is our system. Like, this is capitalism, if you're going to do it, to me, like, don't halfway do it. Really do it. Like, let people, those guys did not get the chance to negotiate. So now here they are saying, this is what we would like. And a judge is going to sit in the middle and decide whether or not what they're asking for is fair. And he may decide, you know what, you guys are asking for too much money. He may decide you guys aren't asking for not enough money. But there's a person who's going to be a third party who can actually decide that. And that seems all right to me. Like, it's not the worst thing in the world that the NCAA, who's worth billions and billions and billions, is being sued for stuff they got for free.
Well, the NCAA needs to go away anyway.
I agree. And they've botched this whole thing. When people started talking about NIL, the chance for them to handle this was many years ago. So obviously they didn't, and now those chickens are coming home to roost. Like, this is their fault.
Well, like he always says, you got to take care of y'all chickens.
Take care of y'all chicken.
You got to take care of y'all chicken.
Yeah, like my dad used to say, sooner or later the rent comes due. He used to say that. That's what happens. Sooner or later, you're gonna have to pay up, and if you go skating on not paying people early, at some point, they're going to come back and ask for their money, and you better have it. So this is where we are. I think that they handled this very poorly, and that's how we got here.
More NCAA basketball news here. Dick Vitale, unfortunately, has a reoccurrence of cancer.
Oh, no.
He announced last Friday he'll have surgery to remove the cancer, and apparently had the surgery early this week. I think it was yesterday, and I think he came out of it okay. I don't know all the details of that, but you might recall back in 21, Dickie V had the lymphoma, and he went through all the treatments and had the surgeries on that, and he had vocal cord cancer last summer, underwent radiation treatment. He announced that he was cancer free after that, and he got to announce that, and many people all the love was flowing in, but they had to push his ESPN return back because he had a reoccurrence in the lymph node system, and so the journey continues on for Dick Vitale. If you pray or positive thoughts, whatever, just be thinking of him. That's that's like a grandpa in NCAA basketball, and it would be a lot quieter without Dick Vitale calling games. He's had a passion for this game for so many years, and I shudder to think what it would be like without him. So, thinking about Dick Vitale as we go to break here, we've got more to talk about, including, is there some sort of a charge to lead the Coyotes to returning to Arizona? We'll talk about it here coming up soon on the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Have you ever lifted a piece of furniture only to discover the carpet underneath looks brand new while the rest of it looks, well, not brand new? That's when you realize you need new carpet. At the Home Depot, we have a wide selection of all the top brands. Best of all, installation is included. So all you need to do is choose something that matches your style. Start your carpet project today at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Installation included with qualifying purchases. Exclusions apply. For licenses, see homedepot.com/license numbers.
You're expanding your business and need to add to your fleet. Maybe you need another semi-truck or trailer. Don't have the cash? I can help. I'm Dylan Cohen at JR Capital, and we offer no money down financing on new and used trucks and trailers. Whether you're an owner-operator or a fleet manager, I'll get the vehicles you need with a simple application and same-day approval. It's faster and easier than asking your banker. Call me, Dylan Cohen, at 602-834-7353, or visit moneyradio.com and click on Finance with Dylan.
Celebrate July 4th with the hottest deals at Lowe's. Right now, get 2 select 2 or 2.5 quart red, white, and blue annuals for $10. And buy 2, get 1 free on select paint and exterior stain via Lowe's gift card rebate. Shop these deals before they're gone, because Lowe's knows summer savings. Valid through 7/10. Annuals offer in-store only. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. Paint. More terms and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/rebates for details while supplies last.
Did you know Arizona workers may be entitled to earned paid sick time? Employees receive a minimum of 1 hour of sick time for every 30 hours worked, and employers are responsible for keeping track of those hours. Posters about paid sick time and minimum wage laws also need to be posted in every office. Get posters and learn more about the rules at azica.gov. That's azica.gov. This message is sponsored by the Industrial Commission of Arizona.
If you're rolling over your 401k to an IRA soon, but not sure if you want to go all in on this crazy market, here's what many retiring professionals are doing. How about a safe and secure IRA offering a contractually guaranteed 10% income bonus that grows 7% annually guaranteed? Your income can double in 10 years. Meanwhile, neither your principal nor your retirement income is ever subjected to a market downturn. Even if the market crashes by 50%, you get the 10% bonus. Your income keeps growing at 7%, and your principal may grow without losses uncapped. You go up with the index, never down, forward, never back. Get a 10% income bonus with a 7% contractually guaranteed growth rate. I compare over 1,200 annuities with a fiduciary duty and can help you retire and stay retired.
Guarantees rely on the financial strength of the insurers, so compare with leading annuity authority Steve Jurich now. Visit IQannuity.com, IQannuity.com, IQannuity.com.
Never again will you have to say, I missed that segment. I'm such a dinkus.
He's so lame.
Never miss an important segment, favorite host, or show again. Check out our podcast and listen whenever and wherever you want.
It's the reason Al Gore invented the internet.
Follow us on Facebook or Twitter or at 1580thefanatic.com.
Wednesday edition of the Daily Blender here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Sober Pops on the text line says, we talk about promos, man, not the game. We're talking about promos. That's funny. I like that. That's exactly what I was thinking, Keon, when I was saying about when I said it was, but we're just talking about promos. I was thinking
about promos, man.
Yeah, we're talking about promos, man. Not the game, promos. The Tom on the text line says, one thing for sure, Luther is getting paid for one shiny moment. What?
They
What
do
does that mean?
after the tournament is over. They do the one shining moment. They play that song, and it's all the highlights from the whole tournament.
So are they going to be allowed to do that? Or
well, they're not asking for the NCAA to stop. They just want their share of the money involved.
No, I'm asking with all serious respect. Are they going to be asking for money for that now?
I don't know. I'm guessing that that's involved. It is a promo of sorts. It's at the end of the tournament, so
boy, the money to air this is going to go through the roof now because NCAA, okay, they'll pay if the judges rule they're going to pay it. They're going to pay it, but then they're going to charge even more money to have the rights out there to air this.
If there is an NCAA by the time that next contract is up, which is a whole issue unto itself.
I agree.
There's no guarantee that they're still around even.
Harry Soap says, Keon says he's suing Randy. I think that's on the day before the 4th of July. Both true Americans should shake hands. The greedy NCAA basketball are things not to argue about. We're not arguing. I think this is a healthy conversation. And quite frankly, there's some things I don't understand about. Like, I don't understand why there hasn't already been some sort of a vehicle involved to start paying these guys. Why is this going? Why is this going out to coming down to lawsuits all the time? Why haven't we figured this out? Because the NCAA is inept.
Yeah,
they're inept and they're antiquated. And what do they do anymore?
They drag their feet on everything they actually have the power to solve, and then the things they don't have the power to solve, they somehow manage to be even incompetent at showing how little they're involved in everything. Yep. I just think that the way that they've handled this is incredibly poor. I remember the handwriting was on the wall for this. I remember being in high school. It was 2004. I was listening to sports radio, and one of the topics back then was the players are making rumblings that they want to get paid. Should that happen? We've been having this conversation at this point for over 20 years.
Yeah.
So if you knew it was coming, why didn't you have something in place? Why didn't you prepare some kind of safety valve to make sure that guys could get paid in a way that didn't involve everybody looking for years and years of back pay and all of this other stuff? Like there was no reason for it to happen this way, except that they didn't want to move on it quickly enough. And this is their bed. They're going to lie in it.
Niner 1680 says, don't they give the NCAA the right to use image when they sign up to play?
They did, but they didn't have options. What was your other option? If at that time you didn't have those, and it wasn't a negotiation. Again, they said if you're playing basketball, this is what's happening. And so, no, that's not a very fair agreement, is it? Like if you don't have the power to change anything and you show up and they tell you that that's how it's going down. So now that you're offering NIL, guess what? The guys that took it before aren't going to take it now. If you're acknowledging that we're part of the reason why you make money, you don't get to do it halfway.
888-368-1580. That's the text line, and you can be a part of the show. We're continuing on in this 4 o'clock hour I've been waiting to do this because I think this is going to be a very interesting discussion. And we're Arizona sports betting station, and we have a lot of programming on here talking about sports betting. And I know a lot in the Fourth Dimension enjoy sports betting, and I hear from you guys all the time about your winnings and some losses. But this came out, and I felt this was interesting. And since we're all kind of jonesing for some NFL, 3 weeks, 20 days from today, NFL training camps open. Well, I mean, it's at the 16th and some of them the 19th because of rookies, but most of them, all the veterans show up. I think there's one or two that start on the 24th, and there's some that actually start earlier, but I'm just basing this on average. 20 days from today, the NFL training camps open up. But these are the quarterbacks currently in the NFL, and they're over/under stats for quarterbacks. Over/under stats for quarterbacks, like regular season passing yards, regular season touchdowns, regular season interceptions. Those are the things. Regular season rushing yards for those that run. I don't think that would include like Aaron Rodgers. I don't think he's going to be on the rushing yards.
I don't think he's going to be on that at all. No.
I mean, Anthony Richardson, yes. But Kyler Murray, yes. But as far as Aaron Rodgers, no. So here are some over/under lines here. And I want to know what you think, Keon. And Fourth Dimension, you're welcome to jump in, too, on our text line at 888-368-1580. So here's the over-unders for quarterbacks for this up-and-coming year. Let me see here. Aaron Rodgers for the New York Jets, regular season passing yards. The over-under line is 3,700.5. You taking the over or the under?
3,700? Yeah.
3,700.
I'll take the over on that. I'll take the over on that.
Are you going to go over 3,700.5?
Yeah. I think with those weapons, if he plays the whole season, then he should be able to clear 3,700.
All right. These are kind of in alphabetical order. So how about Anthony Richardson? Regular season rushing yards, 525.5 is the over/under line. What you taking?
Again, I'm assuming that he's going to be healthy. I think that 525 is pretty easy for him.
So you're going to take the over on that?
Yep.
What about a regular season rushing touchdowns for Anthony Richardson? 7.5 is the line. Over/under.
7.5. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm. But there's 17 games?
Yeah. 7.5, but that's still a lot when you're as much as he runs. You're asking a lot there. I'll still take the over, but I'm worried about that one. I'm worried about that one.
All right. Let's talk Baker Mayfield, shall we? Let's talk Baker Mayfield. Regular season interceptions, 11.5 is the line.
Regular season interceptions for Baker. Last year he had 10. Yeah, I think I'll take the under on that.
You're taking the under on Baker Mayfield. All right. Brock Purdy, regular season passing yard. Keep in mind, this is all regular season. This does not include playoffs.
Right.
Regular season passing yards, 3,900.5.
Oh, easily.
Regular season
easily
passing
over.
yards.
Easily over. He
All right.
He was 4,200 last year.
All right. All right. What about for Carolina, Bryce Young? Regular season passing yards, 3,500.5.
3,900?
3,500.
3,500. I'll take the under. There's no weapons there.
All right.
It's just he didn't get close last year. I don't think he's going to get close again.
All right. How about the rookie Caleb Williams with Chicago? They've got some new shiny new weapons around him. Regular season passing yards, 3,500 and a half. Over, under.
I'll take the over.
What about touchdowns, 23 and a half?
23 and a half? I'll take the under. That's a lot for a rookie. Even a special rookie. 23 is 24 if you take the over. 24 is a lot. I'll take the under on that.
What about regular season interceptions? 12 and a half is the line.
I'll go over. Because
really?
because he's a rookie. I mean, like,
okay.
I still think he's going to be impressive, but like these defenses, there's an adjustment period there. Those guys are gonna be faster than anything you've seen playing at USC.
Yeah,
I'm going to take the over on interceptions.
All right, here's a guy that was hot last season, C.J. Stroud with the Houston Texans. Regular season passing yards. The line is 4,150 and a half.
That's evil. Because he threw for 4,100 almost exactly last year. So now you're throwing the 50 and you assume he's going to be better.
Yeah, that's what Las Vegas is saying, 4,150 and a half.
I'm going to take the under.
What about passing touchdowns for CJ? The line is regular season passing touchdowns for CJ Stroud, 27 and a half.
27 and a half. Under. He threw 23 last year. If he plays just as well, you're still a playoff team.
I don't know, but they got Stephon Diggs now.
That's true. Like I understand that. That does change the dynamics of that offense, but 27 is a big number, man. Almost nobody threw. There were 6 guys that threw 27 and up last year.
All right. What about Dak Prescott from Dallas? Regular season passing yards.
Guys.
They have 4,050 and a half. Over or under? That's the line.
What's the number again?
4,000 or 40-50 and a half. How about that?
40-50. I'm going to take the over.
Okay.
I just look, as long as he's throwing the ball to CeeDee Lamb, I'm taking the over on that.
All right. Regular season passing touchdowns. They have the line at 29 and a half.
Over.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about regular season interceptions? 11 and a half is what they have the mark at.
I'll take the over on that too, though. I do think that this team has gotten a little worse, but there is still talent on the roster. And Dak protected the football last year. I think he's going to have to be a little bit more aggressive this year to make up for some of the guys that they lost. So I think the interceptions will go up. But as far as the touchdowns go, guy was a machine last year. He threw more touchdowns than anybody in football, and I think he'll be right in the mix again.
All right. How about Deshaun Watson? A, does he stay healthy? And B, his regular season passing yards is the mark for the over-under line is 3,400 and a half.
3,400. I'm going to assume he stays healthy. I have no idea. And if he does, I'm going to take the under on that because he didn't look good when he was playing. That's the issue that we lose in all of this is that by getting injured, we forgot how terrible he was. He was awful.
Yeah, no kidding. All right. What about regular season interceptions? 11 and a half is the line.
11 and a half. I'll go over.
All right.
I'll go over on that too.
Let's do a few more because I know we're getting short on time here. Drake May, another rookie for New England. Regular season passing yards. The line's 3,100 and a half.
Under. He may not even start the
Wow.
year. He'll be the starter by the end of the season, I'm sure. But he may not start the year as the starter.
All right. I just you know what I've got to go to Gardner Minshew for Las Vegas. Now they've got some measly number up here, and I know it's got to be over. But here's the line they have: regular season passing yards, 2,350 and a half.
2,350.
2,350 and a half.
Oh, he's going to clear that easily. I'll take the over.
That's my guy right there.
if he plays the whole season and like who else do they have?
Right.
He threw for 3,000 last year.
All right.
that's an insane number.
How about Jalen Hurts? Regular season passing yards, 3,550 and a half.
3,550 for Jalen Hurts. I'll go under.
Jared Goff, regular season passing yards, 4,050 and a half.
I'll go over Because, I mean, he was way over last year. He was like 4,500.
Jaden Daniels, another rookie for your Commandos.
Oh, no, not my bias. All right.
Regular season passing yards, 3,100 and a half.
3,100 for Jaden Daniels. I think he starts day one. I think he puts up numbers. I'll take over on my guy.
All right. What about touchdowns? Passing touchdowns, 16 and a half.
16 and a half. I'll go over on that. 16's not impossible for a rookie.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for hour number 2. On to hour number 3, our final hour of the week here on the Daily Blender on the Fanatic.
The light is fading, your hands are sore, and the last tool has been put away. Now is the time to feel the satisfaction that comes with a job well done. But when you get your tools from Harbor Freight, something about the job feels a little different. Your wallet. Because we believe that everyone deserves hardworking tools at hardworking prices. And that's what we have here. So, whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
Life hack number 7. Get an iPhone 12 on Straight Talk.
Life hack.
Here's how it works. You walk into Walmart, go to the electronics section, ask for iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system, and select the new Silver Unlimited plan. They'll smile because it's a good plan. You get real unlimited data all for just $20 a month for the whole first year. Get it at Walmart or straighttalk.com. Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Taxes and fees apply. Requires activation of iPhone 12 and a new Silver Unlimited plan or higher end auto pay enrollment. $25 a month service credit applied for up to 12 months if eligibility requirements are met. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Do you need equipment for your business but don't have the cash? I can help. I'm Dylan Cohen at JR Capital, and we offer no money down financing on new and used equipment. Excavators, forklifts, dozers, tractors, cranes, plows, and more. If it's essential to your business, I will help you get the money you need. It's faster and easier than asking your banker. Call me, Dylan Cohen, at 602-834-7353. That's 602-834-7353. Or visit moneyradio.com and click on Finance with Dylan.
Marijuana may be legal in Arizona, but driving impaired is not.
As a police officer here in Arizona, I know DUIs apply to more than just alcohol. Anything that impairs driving makes you dangerous on the road. If you feel different, you drive different, and driving impaired can get you a DUI.
Get the facts at drivinghighaz.com and spread the word with the hashtag HighDUI. This message is sponsored by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Discover the ultimate diamond buying experience, unparalleled quality at unbeatable prices.
Hi, I'm Diamond Dave, and at our Buy Appointment office, you'll receive truly personalized one-on-one service for your needs.
No high overhead of standalone stores or mall hours to pay for. We're direct diamond importers designing and manufacturing in-house, eliminating all the middlemen.
Stop overpaying at retail and enjoy serious savings on quality diamonds.
From the first consult to the final reveal, we'll guide you through every step, ensuring you get your dream diamond ring, necklace, or earrings without compromise.
Romantic proposals, anniversary splurges, or just because. Indulge in diamonds for less.
Call today for your private appointment for a dazzling diamond.
Call Diamond Dave at 480-397-2450, 480-397-2450, or follow him on Instagram at Diamond Dave Cantor. That's at Diamond Dave, Kantor.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday, July 3rd, the final hour of the week for the Daily Blender. As we head towards 6 o'clock tonight, broadcasting live from the Harvard Solar Studios, beautiful uptown Scottsdale. My name is Randy White, right over there, the sexiest man at Sports Talk Radio. That's Keon Rose. Jeffrey O'Brien on vacation this week. Should be back Monday. I know Keon and I will. You know, if Jeffrey comes back on Monday. And you are the Fourth Dimension. Text again at 888-368-1580. We're just talking about some of the over-unders that Las Vegas has for NFL quarterbacks. Some of the over-unders that are out there. And we were talking about some. Here's one I find interesting. Joe Burrow coming off that wrist injury. Vegas has him at 4,500 regular season passing yards. That's the over/under line. 4,500.
Well, if he's healthy and he plays the whole year, which is it's a big if, but like if you're not sure, don't even take the bet. So let's assume that he is, because I don't know what else to assume. I'm not going to assume he's not there.
They got Jordan Love.
Easy for him.
Well, it's easy when everybody's healthy, but I mean, T. Higgins is not very happy. He's playing under the franchise tag,
which means you could either have a guy who's completely checked out or a career year, depending on whether or not he wants to prove it. And
could be
and get paid.
They got Jordan Love from Green Bay at 3,850.5 passing yards regular season. They got Josh Allen. I find this funny. They had Joe Burrow at 4,000, right? They had Josh Allen at 3,750.5. I'm taking the over. I'm taking the over all day.
And same for Jordan Love. Both of those guys cleared 4,000 last year. If they're healthy and they have all their weapons, why wouldn't they? I have trouble wrapping my head around that one. Maybe Josh Allen takes a step back just because they did lose Stephon Diggs. And I don't know how much better they got in the offseason.
That's true. Yeah.
They did draft Keon Coleman at wide receiver to maybe replace Stephon Diggs, but he didn't play like Stephon Diggs in college, so I don't know if that helps him.
They should have drafted Keon Rose.
Not to play wide receiver.
Now, if they have you on the team, then by God, he's going to throw for 4,500 yards in a season.
Good locker room guy. Not a great receiver. Bad knees, no vertical.
Understand his knees are a little iffy, but the guy's got solid hands. Solid hands.
I don't know that I have solid hands.
I think he is.
That's a bold claim.
Soft. His hands are soft like butter.
That is. I wish.
And he runs a route. He runs a route like silk.
Look, I read. Look, my 40 time is eventually.
Yeah.
So
that's mine.
I can't really help you.
That's mine. Yeah.
And I'm 5'10".
How do you, if you're Las Vegas? I know you have all the big, the big buildings there, and I know you're making billions of dollars every week. But how do you rank Matthew Stafford of the Rams? Only have 3,900.5 regular season passing yards. Good night.
That's around what he had last year. He had 3,965 last year. So,
but I mean, don't you think with those two extraordinary pass catchers? What was the one?
Cooper Kupp and Puka
Cooper
Nacua.
Kupp and Kukua.
But the thing with that is Cooper Kupp was in and out of the lineup all year. Is he 100%? And Stafford is also not always 100%. So I think if you factor those things in, a lot of these are ifs. If Matthew Stafford is healthy and those receivers are healthy, he's going to clear that number easily. If not,
So here's a ticklish one. Patrick Mahomes, they've got him at regular season passing yards at 4,300.5. That's ticklish to me.
Yeah, that is also evil. Because he didn't make 4,300 last year, but it's like, do you think he's going to not do it again? I wouldn't bet on it. I literally wouldn't bet on it. Also, I think they got better at wide receiver this offseason. So maybe you have a repeat performance and it's another 4,000-yard year, or you can go well north of that if everything works out for them in that wide receiver room.
This is interesting. Russell Wilson for Pittsburgh. They've got him at 2,750.5 regular season passing yards.
At what number?
2,750.5.
I think he can get over that. He did last year.
I think so too.
And he wasn't playing well at all. Like just at all. He looked awful.
Trevor Lawrence, they've got at 3,800.5. Tua, they've got 4,050.5. So 4,050.5.
I think Tua can get over that easily. He threw for 4,600 last year. If he doesn't hit that number, he still clears the Vegas number by a lot.
So Will Levis of Tennessee, Vegas has him pegged at regular season passing yards at 3,400.5.
3,400.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
to me, that's another ticklish one.
It is, but he has D-Hop. and he looked pretty solid in the starts that he had. And he's got a big arm. So anything you're doing with Will Levis is vertical and it's chunk yards.
If he can stay, upright.
Yeah, which wasn't too much of a problem for him since he actually stepped in for the injured Ryan Tannehill. So he's young. He hasn't had a scary injury history. I think he can do it.
All right, 888-368-1580, the text line. Speak of the Browns and Deshaun Watson and bad luck. According to different sources here, the NFL has suspended former 49 safety Tayshaun Gibson. They have suspended him for 6. Is it 6 months? I just lost I lost my thing here, so I can't see it. Is it 6 months?
It is. Yep.
6 months. So, man, this is going to hurt their secondary there with Cleveland.
Or 6 games, right?
I'm sorry, 6 games. Sorry, PED violation. That's going to hurt their secondary.
Yeah, I mean, and this is a team that is, no matter how much money they are paying Deshaun Watson, and they are paying him a lot, they are built around that defense. That's what they're about. And Gibson was a solid player for them last year. He played every single game. He did have an interception. I don't think that he necessarily was an elite level safety, but he was really good. And I think that when you're in the NFL, really good at that position, you'll take it.
Well, 684 tackles over his career to this point.
He had
this
60
guy
last year. So
yeah, I mean, he's a player. I mean, this guy can get it done. So yeah, that's bad news for Cleveland. But then we kind of giggle about that here in the blender.
It's just the guy himself being suspended. It's not something I necessarily cheer for. However, you do take PEDs, you do the time. That's on you.
So speaking of NFL and drinking, Sean Payton, I feel like it might be on those psychedelic mushrooms up there in the Mile High City. Because apparently they're starting a new era with without Russell Wilson there. They're going with Oregon's Bo Nix, the 12th pick in the draft. And Sean Payton is saying it's going to live or die. They're going to live or die with Bo Nix, the Broncos quarterback of the future. And he says this is what we're doing. Is he high?
I don't think he's high. Let me preface all of this by saying I don't think that Bo Nix is necessarily the answer for everything in Denver. But the fact is they drafted him really high in the draft.
Yeah.
And they're desperate for a quarterback. He better work or Sean Payton's done. So he has to say that. I don't know what choice he has. The moment they decided to pull the trigger on Bo Nix, they put the entire franchise in his hands. So yeah, I think it does live or die on Bo Nix. Should it? No. And I would have sat there and taken another position player. I would have done what the Raiders did. The Raiders wound up being the one team that didn't get a quarterback that needed one in the group of teams that did. But I think the Raiders are better off for it because they're not trying to figure out how to make a guy work that might not.
Yeah.
And
Sean
Payton's... Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Sean Payton's supposed to be the quarterback whisperer, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes because you already had your one chance with Russell Wilson. It didn't work out. You can't make it work with Bo Nix. You might have to drop that title.
I don't feel like Russell Wilson was a Sean Payton type of quarterback. I feel like Bo Nix is more of that, Sean Payton type of quarterback. He's more like a Drew Brees. He's more like a pocket guy. Spread the ball around, big arm. He's smart. He wasn't. He was drafted high for a reason. I mean, he's a wonderful quarterback. He's got a huge arm, and he's got pretty good size too. He's bigger than Drew Brees was. So I feel like this is not a bad idea. But I mean, to say this kind of statement before you even have the training camp and you see how he works with the ones, how are you going to say this before you even have it. I know Sean Payton is a seasoned head coach, but how do you do that? How do you come out and say that? I would at least give it, a week or two into training camp.
I would too, but I also think he's seen Bo Nix, and his other options aren't great, by the way. His other options are,
Stidham and Zach Wilson.
And Zach, yeah. So like these aren't. It's a fact, and maybe it's just one of those things where it's just so obvious you might as well come out and say it. Like, what does it benefit you to pretend like that's not the case? That this whole thing kind of does live or die on Bo Nix. But I do think that I wouldn't have said it for the sole reason of I don't think that guy needs any more pressure. He's a rookie. Like, being a rookie in the NFL is enough pressure. And despite the fact that Bo Nix has a big arm, and he does, threw a lot of screens at Oregon. They threw a lot of screens. He's a very accurate quarterback, but a lot of those were inside of 5 yards. So now you're going to ask Bo Nix to do something that he wasn't doing previously. I think that there's a good chance of disaster for this whole thing, and I hope not, because I really do like Bo Nix, like all the way back from when he's playing at Auburn. I was a big fan of the way that the guy played, but I don't know. I don't know about this one. This seems like a trap for everybody involved.
Well, for better, for worse, according to Sean Payton, it's Bo Nix's job to lose. And like I said, we're 20 days away from training camp opening up, and when they start hitting, man. We'll see what happens then. So that's the latest NFL news that I have. Oh, here's a interesting story I ran across today. I've run across quite a bit today. I mean, McDonald's, and we had that story. We had Bronny, and we had that story. We had this one here. According to Yahoo News, selfies are to blame for a lice outbreak in teens, according to doctors. So the next time you go, putting that phone up and you start putting your head next to somebody to get that selfie, you need to be careful, because according to doctors, they're seeing an uptick in older kids, in other words, teens, with infestation compared to 5 years ago. And this doctor attributes it to social media lice.
Oh, boy.
Sharon Rink says teenagers don't usually get lice because they're not sharing hats and things like that. And lice can't jump. So the only way they can transmit lice is touching their heads together. And that's what's happening with all these selfie videos and photos. So, Keon, you can't, look, I love you. You can't put your head up next to mine. I don't want no lice.
Apparently, I didn't have lice. I don't think I have lice.
Well, I don't know if you might have it. I mean, I don't know. You're a selfie guy.
You got to stay ahead of it, I guess. I don't know.
I see what you did there. Got to stay ahead of it.
Oh, my God. I didn't do that on purpose. I wish I was clever enough to actually do that on purpose.
Wow.
That'd be nice.
There's a Katie Shepard. She's the CEO and founder of the Shepard Institute for Lice Solutions. Where was this when all my kids were young and we had an infestation of lice at our house?
That's a good question.
Every time my kids would go over to their aunt and uncle's house, they'd come home with some other thing. They'd be jumping on the trampoline, and one of my kids would come home with a black injured tooth because they were jumping, and they landed awkward, or they banged it, into their cousin or something, and they had this black tooth. Or they were riding a quad that, or a motorcycle, one of those BMX, not BMX, one of those motocross motorcycles, and my youngest didn't know how to ride it quite confidently, and he fell over and broke his wrist. And then after that cast came off, he went over there and did the damn same thing again to the other wrist. So he had two wrists that he broke inside of a year. And then one day they came home, and my son says, my head is itchy. Oh, dear God. And the whole family got it. I didn't get it, though. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, Katie Shepard, founder of and CEO of the Shepard Institute for Lice Solutions, dedicated to research on and education about and treatment of head lice, counters the increase in teen infestations is actually due to more to slack prevention in schools and failure of treatment products than selfies. She says more and more schools are less proactive about the problem. And more of the treatment products out there just aren't working. So you got one pediatrician, a doctor, that says, oh, yeah, they're putting their heads together and taking these selfies. You know how the girls do, right? They get in like a cluster.
Yeah.
You know, they get in a little squad there, and then they all start giggling and stuff, and then they take the selfies, and that's how they get the lice. The guys don't do that. You don't see guys doing that.
Yeah, but a guy might do that with a girl.
Maybe. And therein lies the issue right there.
Yeah.
It's those girls again, isn't it? It's always something. So there it is. Beware, parents. The lice outbreak, and we're calling them social media lice. Could be coming to a child near you.
Oh, boy.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about maybe the University of Texas becoming the most hated team in the SEC. We'll talk about it next here on the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Get insights into the sports betting market with VSiN's betting splits. See where the money is and keep updated on how the market is reacting. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
The NASCAR Cup Series will be racing Sunday through the streets of downtown Chicago. It's the Grant Park 165, a 2.2-mile street circuit featuring 11 turns. They'll run 75 laps. Shane Van Gisbergen of New Zealand won the race last year in his first ever NASCAR Cup Series start, and he's also the betting favorite to win it again. Van Gisbergen is at plus 550, while Kyle Larson is at plus 650 to win the Grant Park 165. Christopher Bell also at plus 650. Tyler Reddick plus 700. Chase Elliott is plus 1,000 to win in Chicago. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8695. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-8695. That's 800-575-8695. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hey guys, Jeffrey O'Brien here. Did you know Harman Solar has gone super high tech? There's an amazing tool at harmansolar.com that'll give you an instant ballpark solar estimate using satellites from space. You just type in a little information, and within seconds, you'll have an idea of just how little money it takes to save big on that monthly electric bill. I did it, and within seconds, they measured my roof and calculated my savings. It's very impressive. Go to harmansolar.com and give it a try yourself. That's harmansolar.com.
Life hack number 7. Get an iPhone 12 on Straight Talk.
Life hack.
Here's how it works. You walk into Walmart, go to the electronics section, ask for iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system, and select the new Silver Unlimited plan. They'll smile because it's a good plan. You get real unlimited data all for just $20 a month for the whole first year. Get it at Walmart or StraightTalk.com. Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Taxes and fees apply. Requires activation of iPhone 12 and a new Silver Unlimited plan or higher end auto pay enrollment. $25 a month service credit applied for up to 12 months if eligibility requirements are met. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com.
Mom, where are my keys?
Why do I have to take out the garbage? I'm too sick to go to school. Quit hogging the bathroom.
If you're having a hard time living with all the noise, it's even harder to live without it. Fake pills with fentanyl are the #1 killer of youth in Arizona. Learn how to talk to your kids at talknowaz.com. This message is sponsored by the Substance Abuse Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
With the first pick. Now that the draft is in the books, it's that time of the season when the team gets together, to get acquainted. Summer means minicamp, OTAs, then pre-season. Keep yourself tuned to the station with all the insight, updates, and breaking news you need to know about the NFL offseason. If it's the NFL, we talk about it. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Welcome back to the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. I have a couple of very strange texts on the text line here. Moist one is on here, and he simply says, "Wash your asses, people." What do you think that means?
I outside of just genuinely good hygiene advice, I don't know.
And then Oily Stool says, "Why do I have to take out the garbage?"
Well, no one said you had to.
Be very nice if you would, though, Oily Stool. Take out the garbage. Why do I have to take out the garbage? 888-368-1580. A couple of things happening in college football, and one of them involves Utah. You might remember Kyle Whittingham has been their head football coach for many years, and I guess they have identified a coach in waiting. Remember how they did that for what was his name with Duke? Coach K.
Yeah, and then
they had a guy in waiting.
John Shire took his
yeah,
seat,
and who is the coach now? Right? I mean, he's coaching. He's doing a pretty good job. I mean, he's not Coach K. Well, a Kyle Whittingham, when he does go ahead and retire. By the way, Whittingham, 64 years old. I can't believe that. He doesn't look like that. He doesn't look like he's 64.
Not at all. That guy looks.
Damn, he's in great shape.
50 at oldest.
Maybe. Well, anyway, he set no timetable for retirement, but Utah has they've named defensive coordinator Morgan Scaley as the coach in waiting. So when Kyle Whittingham does call it a career, Morgan Scaley will just jump right in there and take over. He's a former player. He played for Coach Whittingham. He knows the program. He's loyal to the program. I guess he's a guy that they really like, and so they have named him as the man when Coach Whittingham says goodbye. So that's interesting. Why would they announce that right now?
I think it puts the boosters at ease. It puts the fan base at ease. Like there's an actual succession plan to this whole thing. It happened in Oklahoma with Bob Stoops and Lincoln Riley. It just helps everybody know, like, look, if you trust Kyle Whittingham, you should trust his decision on who's going to be the person that takes this program over. And it does work for that purpose. Like boosters don't tend to get antsy and start trying to figure out who they should throw money at to see if they can force their own coaching hire, which is a thing that happens all the time. So I don't know that you want boosters having that role, because then they start to have a little more say so in your program.
Yeah. I guess just make everybody kind of feel at ease that everything's been taken care of.
Yeah. The ship is going to be steady even after Whittingham is gone. Not that it always works that way. There are plenty of examples of the coach in waiting being an awful coach, but
that's true.
That's the idea behind it. It's not a guarantee.
All right, so there it is. The coach in waiting has been named for the Utah Utes, and we move on now. And this is the story everybody's been waiting to hear. And you feel free to text in at 888-368-1580 if you don't believe me. But according to Connor Toole, Toole, moist one, easy. J.J. Watt hints he could be involved in a push to bring the Arizona Coyotes back from the dead.
Interesting.
I feel so bad for my friend Jeffrey, who's not here to hear this. As far as the NHL is concerned, and Commissioner Gary Bettman, the Arizona Coyotes are as dead as they've ever been after their former owner informed the NHL he's decided to terminate his rights to the franchise. And while there's no telling what the future holds, it sounds like J.J. Watt could be involved in an effort to resurrect the team at some point. Now, I've tried to confirm this, and I've seen this on other places, and the only confirmation I really have is from JJ himself on the X. And I know it is not April 1st, so this is not an April Fool's joke. JJ Watt on the X said, in his own words now, if for no reason other than this logo alone, the franchise needs to be revived properly. And Shane Doan should be involved. Just got to gather up a couple $2 billion, have people of Arizona approve a new stadium and get it built, and get Gary Bettman and the NHL to approve it. Easy, right? J.J. Watt, from out of the fog and the mist, just when you thought everything was lost, out of the fog, out of the darkness, out of the mist comes a hero. A guy that came to Arizona to help your Arizona Cardinals, who still lives here. He could live in Wisconsin. He has a beautiful property there, you know. J.J. Watt is our hero to try to resurrect the dead, the forgotten, the hurt and hurting, the sad and depressed hockey fans of Arizona and the team known as the Arizona Coyotes. J.J. Watt, hero, longtime Arizonan, a guy who's given millions to charity, now wants to stand alone, gather the funding, and get the stadium built. J.J. Watt is coming to the hockey rescue in the desert. Yes, J.J. Watt is here to dry your tears, Coyote fans, and those of you who have been having nightmares and have been having withdrawals about no Arizona hockey. J.J. Watt hears your cries, and he wants you to know that he is on the job. I mean, you know.
It sounds promising. I like it.
Just got to gather up a couple $2 billion, have the people of Arizona approve a new stadium, build it, and get Gary Bettman to approve it. Look, I think if J.J. Watt gathers up a bunch of guys and he gets them involved in this project, I think Gary Bettman absolutely will approve it.
Gary Bettman didn't want them to lose the Coyotes in the first place. So I have no reason to believe that Gary Bettman wouldn't be behind the Coyotes revival. Why wouldn't he? He wanted hockey in the desert. This is the 5th largest market in the country. Mm-hmm. So you'd be insane to not want a team here. And it wasn't exactly Arizona fans' fault that their team's gone. You know, it's a lottery. And sometimes you get the lottery of having a crappy owner. And that's what happened here.
I think that if anybody could get this done, it would be J.J. Watt. He's in good standing with the great people of Arizona.
And with just people in general. I mean,
by the way, J.J. Watt is a sports club owner. He already has an English soccer team, Burnley FC. He bought that in 2023.
That's right. I forgot all about that.
And so he's already in the ring there, sort of, so to speak, of the big wheelers. You know, who's to say he doesn't get Shohei Ohtani involved in this?
Yeah.
Shohei's got $700 million just laying around, not doing much. just collecting interest. JJ apparently knows how to get stuff done. People love JJ. This is the same guy that raised a few years ago, and that I think it was in Houston when that storm went through there and it flooded it all. It was all terrible, and people were out of their homes. He raised something like was it like $30 million? Was it more than that?
Yeah, I'll have to look that up. But he also loaded up the 18-wheelers with the food and water himself. I mean, not alone, but he was personally involved in that. That wasn't something where he raised the money and then he let somebody else handle all of the work. He was involved in that part as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, J.J. Watt has heard your cries, and J.J. Watt has listened. Kyle G., this got the texters going. Kyle G., ownership is always the problem with Arizona hockey. Given that the stadiums are still good, the capital needed for a franchise is within striking range for former athletes. Bring some big guns like LeBron, and there have a chance the Coyotes could be resurrected.
I think you're going to have to sell LeBron on that. I don't know that that's going to be an immediate, obvious option for him. By the way, J.J. Watt raised more than $30 million. It was $37 million for
$37 million
Hurricane Harvey and the
relief.
He for not just relief, but also in the aftermath of Hurricane Harvey, he helped. His money helped build more than 1,100 homes in Houston. Because he's a good dude.
Moist One, of course, checks in with the obvious Moist One text. J.J. Watt needs to start an OnlyFans.
I don't think that's going to get him to $1 billion, Moist One. I
don't know. I've seen him with his shirt off. I mean, it's pretty impressive.
There are some people out there who would pay for it. I don't think enough people to get you to $1 billion.
Oily Stool says Shohei Ohtani is poor. That $700 million is almost all deferred. Sadly, he will not be involved. We don't know that.
Well, he's not poor exactly, but
Silver Pop says head lice, not ass lice.
I don't think ass lice is a thing. If I'm wrong about that, don't tell me. I don't want to know. But just off the top of my head, don't think it's a thing.
A Hefty Lefty has sent me a very perplexing text here on the text line at 888-368-1580. A clean donkey is a happy donkey. A happy donkey is a good worker. That's some ancient Chinese proverb, or
okay.
See, that's another thing. I haven't heard from Haruto. Haven't heard from Pierre.
It's been a little bit. Yeah.
I think they don't like us anymore.
Yeah. I noticed Pierre just shows up when Jeffrey shows up. I don't think Pierre cares about us.
That's I don't know about that.
Haruto, though, I'm a little surprised by that because he's dropped in on the show without Jeffrey a few times.
Pineapple Express, haven't heard from him.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're clapping right now that J.J. Watt hints he could be involved in a push to bring the Arizona Cardinals back or Coyotes back from the dead. Now, look, if J.J. gets involved in this thing, it's going to be a winning franchise.
Yeah.
He's not just going to do it just to make money.
And there's precedent for that, right? Like Magic Johnson's involved in a number of teams, and he's had success just about everywhere. So when you have people behind it that actually care about it, it works. And sadly, the Coyotes and their fans haven't had that, but maybe they could. Maybe they could.
It's on the way, ladies and gentlemen. J.J. Watt. You know who he needs to get involved in this is Gardner Dan Minshew.
There's still going to be several millions upon millions shy of $1 billion. I mean, if Gardner Minshew wants to get involved,
Gardner Minshew got involved, I mean the money would just the deficit would just simply disappear.
I don't think
there'd be money coming in from all over because of two American icons, J.J. Watt and Gardner Dan Minshew. Money would just flow in, just like the Salt River. It would flow into the accounts, and all of this would go away, and suddenly we'd have our beloved Coyotes back.
I don't know that that's exactly how it would work, but I hope so. I hope so for you guys.
You have your team.
Yeah, I mean, for what that's worth. They're over the hill and can't win a title, but they are there. They are there. So that's the thing.
We can only keep thinking about this. Stay tuned, and we will keep you. We will keep you abreast of the situation. Moist one easy. It's a saying. We will keep you in the loop.
It's a figure of speech.
It's just a figure of speech. Moist one easy. But if JJ Watt gets involved, I mean, come on, man. 888-368-1580. That's our text line. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we've got more to talk about. Your texts on the text line, also on this date in Big Georgia sports history. And will Texas become the most hated team in the SEC? We'll talk about it next here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-345-2789. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-345-2789. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-345-2789. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-345-2789. 800-345-2789 or biglou.com.
Eric was way behind on his taxes.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS, almost $15,000. I tried to make payments.
The IRS wasn't satisfied with Eric's efforts, so they came after him full force.
They're coming to put a lien and a hold on all my income, my home, my car. I was just overwhelmed at what to do.
Then Eric called Optima Tax Relief.
When Optima Tax got involved, the calls would stop, the threats would stop. It was easy like 1, 2, 3.
Optima Tax Relief is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and their team of expert tax professionals took care of Eric's problem.
I owe $15,000, and now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything.
Take Eric's advice.
If you have a tax problem, you need to call Optima Tax now.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-909-8122. 800-909-8122. 800-909-8122.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com. Life hack number 7. Get an iPhone 12 on Straight Talk.
Life hack.
Here's how it works. You walk into Walmart, go to the electronics section, ask for iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system, and select the new Silver Unlimited plan. They'll smile because it's a good plan. You get real unlimited data all for just $20 a month for the whole first year. Get it at Walmart or StraightTalk.com. Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Taxes and fees apply. Requires activation of iPhone 12 and a new Silver Unlimited plan or higher end auto pay enrollment. $25 a month service credit applied for up to 12 months if eligibility requirements are met. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com.
Need a boost in capital or a flexible line of credit for your growing business? Hi, I'm Dylan Cohen at JR Capital. I can help you get the money you need fast. The process is a breeze with a simple application and same-day approvals. No more waiting, no more hassle. Just a straightforward path to securing the funds you need faster and easier than asking your banker. So call me, Dylan Cohen, at 602-834-7353. That's 602-834-7353. Or visit moneyradio.com and click on Finance with Dylan.
Download the Fanatic app. News, scores, social media updates, and more on your smartphone, on your tablet. The free Fanatic app, available at the Google Play Store or the App Store and at 1580thefanatic.com.
Live hack. I don't know why I felt like doing that. Welcome back to the Daily Blender of 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic as we get set to wind it down for the weekend. Of course, we will be out tomorrow and we will be off on Friday and we will return on Monday. But Keon, you're back in on Saturday with no interruptions, uninterrupted Keon Rose.
Yep, without interruption, and been talking about the Suns an awful lot, and I think that that's going to probably continue They're still making some free agency moves. Again, not the big splashy hire or signings that everybody was hoping for, but I just don't think that was ever realistic. Talked about that last week, and we'll get into kind of the nuts and bolts of what a retooled Suns roster could look like.
Well, that's going to be exciting. And then, of course, Weekend Warriors with Ralph, who I heard he was going to be on with us this week, but clearly he was a no-show. I know he's been very busy, though.
Yeah, he said he was going to reach out if he had time, but they've been swamped over at Harmon Solar. I don't know if you've noticed, we're just in the triple digits again, and we'll be there for a very long time, which means that there's a bunch of people looking at their electric bill and going, oh, crap, I need to save money on my bills. Harmon Solar's been helping him out, so Ralph hasn't had a whole lot of time.
Let's see here. The Moist one on the text line actually has something I think I can read, so let me see here. Gonna need someone with big money to help the Coyotes. I'm thinking Chuck McDowell. Imagine if they made a new Madhouse on McDowell funded by Chuck McDowell. He would be a real I'm not going to say anything now.
But how else would we learn about the ugly truth about timeshares?
I'm not going to say anything. Speaking of Pierre, hello, Pierre. And Pierre says, Mr. Randy, Mr. Keon, on the contrary, I listen to you. I may not text, but I always listen to you while I have a French dinner or a date with a sophisticated young woman. It brightens my day to hear that J.J. Watt may bring the Arizona Coyotes back to the desert. Like a phoenix rising from the ashes of the desert, the Coyotes will return. Thank you, Pierre.
Appreciate the support.
Thank you, Pierre. I appreciate that. And it could get much brighter here in the great state of Arizona. And when you have a local hero like J.J. Watt, really, seriously, all kidding aside, just salt of the earth kind of guy, he's willing to go out and help and serve the community and help out any way he can. He's used his own resources to help. He's raised resources. I could see him actually doing something like this, bringing back the Coyotes. Then he could run for governor and probably win in a landslide. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Across all the political lines, he would win because he's JJ. Governor Watt? Oh, please call me JJ. Moist One says it's a cartoon character. I'm not gonna.
You understand, Moist One, given your history. I haven't seen the text myself, but if anyone's extra cautious, you know why. You know why.
Anybody remember the College World Series when Jim Nagel got up there and made a fool of himself?
Yes.
By saying that I've given up so much and I've come to A&M and this is a terrible time to bring this up, and he just really, and then the next day signs with Texas. Many in the SEC feel like that's what's going to happen. That Texas, they already have ties to the SEC. Texas head coach was on the Alabama staff, right? Steve Sarkisian, he was in Alabama.
Yeah, Nick Saban's offensive coordinator.
And so it's going to be pretty easy for Sarkisian, who already has contacts in the SEC, to start picking away at some of these guys to help his program.
Yeah, and that's not counting the guys he's already taken away. I mean, he's an incredibly well-connected guy in college football.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And that's the reason why I think he was able to find success at Texas as quickly as he did. Because, I mean, when it comes to putting together a staff, there is almost nobody who knows as many human beings in that sport as Steve Sarkisian. So what does he know about SEC teams? He's got the dirt on them. When he took the job at Texas, he knew that they were going to be moving to the SEC. They hadn't announced it yet, but he was part of those proceedings because he was absolutely on top of the story from the very beginning. So I just think that, yeah, he's got a lot of dirt that he can dig up all around that conference, and I can't wait.
Moist One, I can't do that. I'm just not going to do that.
I like that he tried to offer some other thing like that was going to be better.
Tonsil stones, really? Tonsil stones?
Moist one, come on. Be real.
888-368-1580. I feel like Texas is going to have the edge over USC in the SEC.
Well, yeah, I mean USC's in the Big Ten, so.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
But who's going to probably have
Oklahoma
more success?
is going to SEC.
Yeah, and Texas is going to be ahead of Oklahoma because they're already ahead of Oklahoma. They were ahead of Oklahoma in the Big 12, and they'll be ahead of Oklahoma again. Not to say that Oklahoma can't catch up, because I do like Brent Venables, who isn't an SEC guy, but he was the defensive coordinator at Clemson. So he knows what a big program is about, and he knows what playing big time college football is. I don't think that he's going to be somebody that is going to struggle to find success, but that offense hasn't quite clicked at Oklahoma just yet with him on, in command. So we'll see if he's able to figure that out, but the faster the better, because I think that you have a very good potential in the SEC of being absolutely left behind the way some of these colleges recruit.
All right. Now, so do you think that Texas could outstanding in the field, so to speak, and could they be one of those schools that maybe they're treated like an outsider by the other SEC schools?
I mean, they probably could be, but I don't think so, because I think that as far as what Texas is, it matches a lot of what the SEC likes to stand for. It seemed like maybe when they added Texas A&M and Missouri, those schools would be treated like outsiders, but those schools feel now like SEC staples. They've been there for so long. So no, I don't think that Texas is going to have any trouble adjusting to being in the SEC, though I do think it's interesting because Texas fans already like being villains. That's already kind of the thing. So if you mean treated as an outsider, maybe treated as the bad guy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Texas is all about that.
They might have to change their band's hats from white to black. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
The Texas band always has these white cowboy hats. They have to change those to black cowboy hats.
Because, as far as the villain role, Texas is right at home.
Now, what about you? What about USC and what about them going to the Big Ten? I feel like the coach there at USC already is well connected within Big Ten, sort of like the Sark is in the SEC. I feel like maybe this is going to be a resurgence of USC football. Do you agree or disagree with that?
I think that he is. I don't think he's quite as connected as Sark is in the SEC, because he didn't coach in the Big Ten, Lincoln Riley. But Lincoln Riley is a well-connected coach. He's had time to build up those stores of names and numbers and connections and all those things that you need to be able to go out and hire a staff. And he's got to fix that defense. Like ultimately, that is what's going to determine the success of USC in the Big Ten is how good is that defense? It was bad in the Pac-12, and it isn't better. Like, they didn't recruit a better defense. They didn't go to the transfer portal and get too much better on defense. So what do they do as far as personnel, and what do they do as far as hiring a defensive coordinator? If they don't hit the ground running in the Big Ten, it could be tough sledding for a couple of years for them, and in a position where they're not. I mean, I don't want to put anything on Lincoln Riley as far as is his job in jeopardy, but the wins are going to be tough to get against Michigan and Ohio State and Penn State, and even a team like Northwestern has always got a great defense, even if their offense is hit or miss. So there's no free lunches going on in the Big Ten, and I just don't know the way USC plays defense, how well they're going to do early on.
I would agree with that. I think that USC is going to struggle because I think they've been used to the Pac-12 and that kind of mindset. But Lincoln Riley is a guy that can put together a pretty good staff, and he is an offensive-minded guy. I think you're right, though. I think they're going to struggle against Michigan. They're going to struggle against Ohio State, Penn State. Those big schools like that, and like you said, even Northwestern. At least the first season, but once they start getting some of these guys, these Big Ten recruits, going to USC, I mean, how hard is it going to be to recruit a kid from Wisconsin to go to USC, where there's palm trees and sunshine year round, and there's an ocean right there. Everybody's got nice tans. It's a beautiful day most every day in Southern California. I mean, these guys are going to eat that stuff up.
Yeah, it's going to help them for sure, but it's also you're entering a conference where they take pride in being able to play through the elements and playing tough football. So prying a kid from Wisconsin might be tough because there are kids who grow up in Wisconsin and their dream is to be offensive linemen for the Badgers. I don't know any other school that can say that about the state that they're in. Where there are kids that grow up and want to be linemen. You got to try and get a couple, but it's going to be tough.
All right, I guess I better do this before I forget about it. And again, I apologize, Big George. I am so sorry I didn't do it. It's time, ladies and gentlemen, for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 2001, Izzy Alcantara of the AAA Pawtucket Red Sox was involved in one of the most unique scuffles in baseball history. Alcantara had multiple brushback pitches thrown at him, and knowing that he was going to charge the pitcher, he chose to do it a little differently. He stepped back and he karate kicked the catcher before going out to the pitcher's mound to charge the pitcher after another brushback pitch. That happened on this day back in the year 2001. He did, cleats and all, right in the catcher's chest protector, and then he raced out to the mound to take on the pitcher. The catcher never saw it coming.
Oh, boy.
He's like, they brushed him back. The catcher was already standing. Alcantara just went, hi-ya, and did a big Bruce Lee on him, and then sprinted out to the mound, and they started throwing hands out there. He was wrestled to the ground by members of the opposing team, suspended 6 games, and kept out of the AAA All-Star game for that little stunt. On this day back in 2001, I remember it like it was yesterday.
It's been a while since we had a good baseball fight.
It's been I feel like
a couple of seasons, right?
Yeah, I feel like it's been a couple seasons. Yeah,
we had a little bit of a mix-up last year, but I wouldn't call it a fight.
Nah. Usually those baseball fights are not very but Nolan Ryan and Robin Ventura, though.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. And Jose Batista and Rugnet Odor.
Oh, Rugnet Odor just I'm surprised. Batista must have a steel jaw because Rugnet Odor didn't hold back. He just went bang, and I'm sorry. Joey Bats had it coming. I'm sorry.
He did, and the image of his helmet popping off of his head as he got punched in the face,
and that stunned look like what the hell just happened?
Just a genuinely one of the most fun things I've ever seen on TV. And I haven't been blessed with a baseball fight like that since.
We need more fights in baseball.
Yeah, just not. Let's not get outrageous, but like one a year, like one good fight a year. That's all. That's all I'm asking.
Like the year that I forget his name now, that Cincinnati pitcher that ran into the dugout of the opposing team. He just ran into the dugout and started fighting the whole team.
Which is bold choice. You're in close quarters with a bunch of people who do not like you.
It's a bold choice, Cotton. We're going to see how this works out.
Yeah, I think it was a bad decision making, but boy, was it fun.
So what a great story to end the Daily Blender on for the week. Quincy Wilson is headed to Paris, and you're saying who? Quincy Wilson will have a driver's test, but it'll have to wait until he gets back from the Summer Olympics. He's a 16-year-old phenom who captivated fans during the U.S. Olympic track and field trials, and he's headed to Paris as part of Team USA's 4x4 meter relay, 4x400 meter relay. He is fast. He is dynamic, and I think this kid is going to be something special as time goes on. He's not even done developing yet. And this kid, he just runs like the wind, man. I mean, wow. He broke a 42-year-old under 18 world record when he won his men's 400 heat in 44.66 seconds. That record has lasted all of 2 days before Wilson lowered it again in the 400 semifinals, running a time of 44.59. Damn. He took 8 seconds off that, or 0.8 of a second. 800s, whatever it is, 800s of a second. Wow. Anyway, congratulations, Quincy Wilson from Eugene, Oregon. He's probably going to go to Oregon. Damn it.
Maybe. But I don't know, man. The track and field is my event.
ASU.
That's what I like to watch in the Olympics. It's just
track and field.
Yeah, especially the running stuff. Because as much as I love team sports, you set aside the pads, the helmets, the baseballs, the basketballs, the footballs, the hockey sticks, and it's just me and you and who's faster. That's it. I don't know. The stakes of that are always high to me. I will always enjoy watching that. And he's impressive. And he's got the chance to go to maybe 5 more Olympics after this one if things shake out well in his career.
Well, as we wrap up this show, thank you, Pierre. I saw that. Thank you, Rough Rob. One of the best moments, if you can still find the video. Yeah. Hefty Lefty, Joey Bats getting popped. Yeah, that was good. You're welcome, Big George. Moist One, you too. Everybody have a great 4th of July. We'll see you Monday here on Blender.